Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen.
Wait a minute, who the hell are you?
Just like the prodigal son, I've returned. Anyone stepping to me, you'll get burned, because I got lyrics, but you ain't got none. That's all the white boy rap I'm going to do right now.
Come on, dude.
I thought
that's the one.
House of Pain ain't going to do nothing.
I thought my long-term plan to be just Leog being just me speaking into a mic with nobody else interrupting me was at last coming to fruition, and then you show up again.
I'm the yin to your son of a bitch.
You should do a Coco with Corey.
That's true. You would get to talk endlessly when you're just going,
I'm willing to do a Coco with Corey, but all I'm going to do during it is laugh maniacally like I do when I'm next to him in the movie theater. It'll be a Coco with Robert De Niro and Corey. It'll be
a Coco with Corey and the cackling homunculus.
Well, this is indeed the new Leog. This is a 0.5. I won't say which one.
sorry, so are you sure it's a 0.5?
It is. I looked it up.
All right.
Do we even care anymore?
Well, you know, it actually means something this time, and let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because I have done absolutely no preparation for this whatsoever. So that's why it's a 0.5. This is what 0.5s are for. They're for us bullshitting around.
It's okay.
Hey, man, they
for
bullshit
us
on Let's
not
Do
knowing
This.
what the hell we're doing.
Oh, thank Christ.
Every week on Let's Do This, all they do is get together and bullshit.
Bo and I got the motherfucker, okay? We got
okay,
it.
all right, yeah.
Can you believe they didn't know what Goatsy was? I'm still a little upset.
You know, I do have to laugh how they talk about goats like it's a real goat. And I'm like, do you guys have any
I
idea?
know.
They're so stubborn that
no.
even knowing what Goatsy actually is, they're still sticking
No,
with it.
they keep talking about it, and they keep talking about it, and it was like, man, that was 2002, right?
Really?
Please,
Oh my
somebody
God.
out there get a username Meat Spin.
The actual worst thing I've seen in reference to Goatsy is this guy. He posted a picture of like a romantic ring that you could buy your loved one, and it is an open circle of diamonds with two hands on either side that look as if they're spreading it apart.
Granted to
And it is totally the Goatsy ring.
Granted to you
Get
by
in
a
front of you,
guardian.
though.
By a guardian of Oa.
Oh, that'll be how they wrap up Blackest Night.
It's an Owen. It's
the Goatsy lantern.
It's the Owen sodomy ring.
He'll save us all. Oh my God, what's that horrible smell?
That's true. Sodomy is an emotion too, right?
Kyle Rader, you have the capacity for
Not in
grand.
Texas,
Never mind.
buddy.
If will is an emotion, then sodomy is too.
It's like somebody at work the other day. I mean, these guys, they're going on and on about Goatsy, and somebody at work the other day, all these guys, they send me a link to Leroy Jenkins, the WoW video, and I was like, yeah, that's great. Welcome to last fucking year, guys.
like
Yeah, like 3 years ago, right?
It's like
But then, of course, they're like, oh, well, Jason's already seen it, and blah, blah, blah. And then they're all,
you're like,
well,
dude, it's in the Bible for God's sakes.
I know. But they're all mocking me.
It was Jesus who was Leroy Jenkins.
Exactly.
Let's do this. No, they're all mocking me because I scoffed at them, and then of course they call me over. They're like, "So, man, you play a lot of games. What does it mean? I mean, what is it?"
What are you like, Eric Idle?
why
Know what
am I
Wink,
laughing
nudge,
at this
nudge.
thing?
You ever make love to a woman? Huh?
Know
Huh?
what I
Huh?
mean? Know
Huh?
what I mean?
What's it like?
Well, before we go any deeper into our own degradation, let's do a round table and figure out who the hell's here in the room anyway.
Who is here?
I'm here. I'm Cyrus.
And I'm Leon, anchoring the... Oh, wait. Whoa. Jumping the gun.
Don't even forget it. Just forget about Squid Girl, will you?
I am not going
Why
to forget
would
about
you
Squid
be-
How
Girl.
can you forget about
She
Squid
is the
Girl?
light of our lives.
Just crawl into the corner, Leon. Thanks a lot. I'm Kristen.
I didn't even want to say my name. now.
And I am Kristen.
I'm Kristen. I'm Kristen.
My wife.
I'm Kristen, too. And so's my wife.
Well, let's keep going with the
All
round
right.
table,
Well,
folks.
fine. After Kristen is Leon.
And back after 4 or 5 issues gone, Jason.
Yes.
I'm Bo.
Ed
Still
McMahon.
here after all these years.
And Allison.
And I'm Harris.
Our good friend Harris is back.
Yes, the team is back. This is Harris's second appearance.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Is it only second? I thought it was third.
No, it's your only second appearance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Only
okay.
second time.
Okay, sorry.
So he doesn't qualify yet. But speaking of qualifying...
But if you do say the secret word this time, you'll win $100.
And I'm sad that
Is it
Randy couldn't
aluminum?
be here this week because Randy actually got moved up to the League of Support Heroes.
Oh.
Yeah,
He's been here, 5 times now or something?
I saw him on the Secret League Lounge email list that we've got floating around
Yeah,
right there. And he had responded to something, and I was like, the hell did Randy get on the list? And of course, he runs Rogues Gallery, the comic shop I hit every Wednesday. And so I walk in, I'm like, so you're on the fucking list now? He's like, I'm on the list.
We weren't trying to replace you, Jason, were we, guys?
No. There was no single white female thing going on here.
Well, to be fair, we weren't entirely sure if you were coming back.
Yeah, and,
Okay.
and we need another white guy to fill in.
Gone for so long.
Yeah, so we don't have enough white guys.
We're just waiting for the next thing to be like, well, I got sucked into a parallel dimension.
Where am I going to find another white guy that knows a lot about comic books?
But
I'll have to go to a comic book store.
Or a guy who owns a comic book store.
I have another small announcement to make here. And,
What's that?
And this is something that maybe I should have discussed with you first, Leon. No, I
Oh,
didn't.
shit. I hate when you do this.
I know.
You're
I'm
fired.
sorry. You're fired.
Surprise.
Bo is the new Leon. Go get tanned.
I
Really,
get to be
really
the
tanned. No, that is not the announcement. I couldn't do this without Leon. The announcement is it's been a long time since we've moved anybody up into the echelon of being a full-fledged member.
True.
And there's-
Grant, I think, was
was
maybe
the last one. Yeah.
was the last one.
And the we've had somebody who's been to almost every single Leog we've had sitting right here. And if there's ever anybody who needed a boost in her life right now, it's Kristen.
Oh, okay. You're making this announcement to me?
Yeah.
And the fact that I drew Kristen in one of our, Leog companions,
Yeah.
to me meant she was already moved
Well, you
up.
drew Fish.
I really think that we should take this moment of joy of Kristen and make a debate out of it.
Well, was it
Yes.
Fish?
Let's
Oh.
take this moment of joy for Kristen and just go, you know what?
Yay!
Hey, Kristen! Fucking A!
She's one of the girls.
We finally got a chick in here, Jesus Christ.
And once
Allison's been here for
Hey.
like...
yeah.
I
beginning.
completely resent that remark.
Once Grant gets back into
sorry,
town,
that
he's
was
in
horrible.
Morocco or some
Yeah,
far
Morocco.
from. Assuming
He's,
he doesn't-
he's getting his pocket picked in Morocco.
yeah, as soon as he doesn't die from some horrible brain bleeding disease.
Liver flukes.
Exactly.
He's at Rick's Cafe America. Right now.
Then we'll get him to do whatever it was he did to make the league
Actually,
lounge
I
all
believe his
nicer and
Islamic
move her up
masters
there.
are
Yes.
feeding him his cell information at this point.
Right on.
So, you have any words there, Kristen?
But Kristen, yes, you've been knighted. You are a full member.
Yay! I feel like, when you graduate college and you move your little tassel on the other side when you walk across stage.
And then you have to
Let's
get a
do
real
that.
job.
Yeah, fuck that.
Not so pleasant.
yeah,
Equate it with something better.
Should have stayed in the junior league as long as you could. Now you got to pull your weight.
Welcome to the league,
Yes,
Kristen. Hope you survive
You've
the
moved away
experience.
from being Allison's understudy to having your own place on the mantle.
Yeah!
So
Thanks, guys.
I think you've got something to pimp.
I do have something to pimp. If you haven't heard, I've fallen upon hard times, and the way you could help is simply by visiting my Etsy store and perhaps bringing a squid home with you. And if squid's too pricey, I've got like $2 greeting cards. I've got small little items that every little bit is going to help me.
For the record, they are not real squids. They are handmade squids
Oh,
that
did
she
I?
makes
Okay,
herself.
they're plush.
Yes.
In a petri
You know what,
dish.
Kristen?
Come buy a bag of squids that I
I'm
picked
gonna
up on
ask you to
Saturday.
step back for a second
Okay.
while I take this. Kristen, who's like one of our favorite independent comic book artists in town, offers these handmade squids that she sells, and they're pretty awesome. And now is the time to jump on it and buy them because she has time to fill your orders. And while you're there on her website, which is at, give me the URL.
It's deadsquirrelgirl.etsy.com. That's the store.
Dead Squirrel Girl. Okay, so even if they don't get all that, they can Google Dead Squirrel Girl.
Google Dead Squirrel Girl, but the site itself, the store is at etsy.com, which is ETSY.
Right, and there you have your handmade squids and your graphic novels.
Yes,
and
and
how many
pick
graphic
those
novels
up.
do you have right now?
2 volumes. And in fact, I'm going to put those up into the Etsy store. They're not in there right now, but I'm going to tonight.
Yeah, you should.
hopefully.
Okay, so by the time you hear this, she'll have the graphic novels there. Order one, mention that you listen to the League podcast. She'll sign it for you. Maybe even put something personal in it.
And in the League Lounge, there's also a link that I posted in the discussion section. If you frequent the League Lounge, you'll see one in there that said Squids for Everyone, so you can find the link there, too.
Yes,
and
you can.
And while
If-
Kristen does not have her day job anymore, she is quite busy doing other things. This has opened a whole new world for her of being her own person, an entrepreneur, if one might say.
And seriously, if you get the Dead Squirrel Girls, you'll get addicted and you'll be like, okay, Kristen, now that you don't have a job, I expect Volume 3 immediately.
Yeah,
so that I can find out what
Hey,
happens.
you know what? Fuck it. If you order from Kristen through us and mention the League, we will all sign that book.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Wait, does
Yeah, why
that
not?
mean work on my? I don't have to drive anywhere, do I?
Yes, you do.
But you do have to learn to read and write.
Well, I know how to do that as long as there are pictures.
I just like looking at the Green Lantern pictures in the comics. So yeah, it's pretty green.
I trust
That's
Bo
good.
Yeah,
didn't.
you don't have to read. You just have to know how to order something. You good?
I'm
Get your mom to help you.
I'll go out of my way to help you out for that one. Not that anyone cares about my autograph.
Well, I can, like when you teach a kid to write, I can put your hand on my hand, top of yours, with a big crayon, and I'll help you out.
What's my percentage?
I'm writing.
I'm just saying. We tried to teach him how to use a clock once, and it was a nightmare. So
Not that I really need to know.
no, you don't. You've got the little pretty numbers in the corner of your computer.
Yeah,
Your percentage, Cyrus, is getting to see me smile. Isn't that worth anything?
that's worth it. Plus, I get to use your hand. Okay.
And here come the nightmares.
Jump back.
Full circle.
Hey, this girl can draw, so that is a very skilled hand.
And she's hilarious. Like, the Dead Squirrel Girls, as interesting as they are as far as the mystery, and I want to find out what happens.
Yeah, what
for the
does
love
happen?
of God.
Is there going to be a new character coming in? I'm curious because like you've got Dead Squirrel Girl, who's your sister, like based on your sister, and I'm sorry, remind me of what your character's name, not used as much
She's
is.
poor depth perception
no depth
girl.
perception
No
girl.
death. Ow!
The
Yeah.
next character is actually creepy, lecherous podcast guy.
I think I could identify with that.
League Lounge Stalker.
His name is Uzi.
Yeah, but they're really funny also, and she has her offbeat sense of humor girl story that she has told on previous Leogs to back this up. That they're really funny also.
Offbeat. That's,
Offbeat.
That's a nice word for fucking weird.
Okay.
Either way, we love Kristen. We're glad she's a full-fledged member of the league now. It's hard to believe it wasn't even a year ago that we met her at Staple.
5
I
months.
know.
5 months ago. Not even
Was it
half
only
a year.
5 months ago?
March.
Wow.
It seems
feels
like
like a
so
fucking
much
eternity.
longer.
Yeah.
Is that good or bad?
That's good.
Yeah, honestly, when these guys were approaching you, I totally expect you to blow them off and call the cops.
I was really surprised that she didn't. I was surprised. We went up to her table and said, we'd like to interview you for our podcast. I was like, she's never coming to the table.
Yeah. Because she was the belle of the ball of that thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that was like one of the best nights ever.
Well, it certainly turned out well because
Yes.
look where you are now.
Little did you know the benefits you'd reap.
All of
Be
this,
appearing on a free podcast.
Why? Bo and Jason have been here since the beginning.
all of this can soon be yours, and by all of this I mean all this vodka.
Yeah. Where you can get drunk and be sexually harassed every week.
Yeah,
Dude, where do I sign up?
Actually, I've been making out like a bandit for my birthday, and I will like take this opportunity to say thank you, everybody. Oh my fucking god, I'm so grateful for even your birthday wishes on the site, the happy little messages you left on my wall, and all that cool stuff. I really, really appreciate it. It made my day.
yeah.
So
and,
does this mean we get no more snarky comments about not getting paid?
Absolutely not.
oh, and shouts out to everyone who wished me a speedy recovery and coming along, and also specifically to Pat Gosel and Genova Pooh and Wally Whiplash for sending me some goods.
Oh,
So,
and I'd like to say a
appreciate
belated thanks to Genova Pooh, because she did say, you didn't give me a shout out. And now here's a shout out, because you deserve it.
I
Well-
got a shout out.
Oh, okay. No, well, you go. I'll go next.
On a very horrible day earlier this week, I was all bummed out, and I came to my mailbox, and lo and behold, there's a Dr. Horrible sing-along DVD in my mailbox
Nice.
from Bow and Arrow, so I wanted to thank him for
Oh,
that.
Bow and Arrow is awesome. I don't know if I spoke about Bow and Arrow before, but Bow and Arrow sent me like 3 things all at once, and I wasn't sure they were all from him because they came separately. But yeah,
I concur. My affections can be bought, and he has the receipt.
and I just recently got
And I will gladly send you a receipt that says affection.
now. Besides Ultimate Spider-Man, I got from a member also. I recently received something from, and I had to say the receipt here. I don't know what his spill login name is, but I know the person's real name is.
Well, maybe just his real first name.
Sean.
There we go.
Okay, thank you, Bo.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sean sent me the new Green Lantern movie
Right on.
on
Sweet.
DVD.
Right
Yeah,
on,
very
Sean.
nice.
And the thing is, man, what a sweet present. The thing is, I immediately jumped and bought it on Blu-ray like the minute it came out. So since I had this extra, I'm gonna
if
pass it over to
only you
Jason.
knew somebody. Oh, damn it!
Jason, who's recovering, and I'm so glad to have him back. Who
Yeah.
I know probably hasn't seen this. I'm
I
passing
have
it
not.
on to him.
I have
But
not.
Sean, thank you so much.
You're driving me home tonight, Jason.
You got it. Thank you, Leon, and thank you, Sean, for Yeah, you thought, well, I'm not going to buy anything for this prick. But guess what? You did.
It's like Christmas every week at Leo.
And after Cyrus's review on Spill, check it out. I really, really am excited to see this.
Cool. And then
Yeah,
you can post
you'll dig
something saying how full shit I am. I've already gotten like 6 of those messages.
Have you really?
I don't have to watch this and know you're full of shit.
Actually, it goes both ways. I have people going, "What are you talking about? That was crap. This is the worst of them." And I have people going, "What are you talking about? That's by far the best of them." I have people like, "I can hardly wait to see more Kilowog."
That's weird because I didn't think it was the worst or the best.
I that's my second favorite of all of the DC ones. I like it not anywhere near as much as the New Frontier, but it's of all the others, it's by far in the lead.
New Frontier's so damn
I
good.
Yes,
I
it
got to
is.
say, I'm still like Wonder Woman better.
I thought Wonder Woman was just okay. You're that guy on this one, Leon.
I've liked them all.
Clearly,
So far, nothing that they've done has hit the excellence of the Justice League series or
Thank you.
Batman or Superman. That being said, as far as stuff that's coming out and stuff that's been around for like the last 5 years, yeah, that's tops.
Which I had a lot of people say just that. It's like, look, this is nowhere near as good as Justice League Unlimited. But that being said, it's also awesome anyway.
And it's cool to see Hal finally, getting his day in court.
Now, something I want to say about that, because they showed a preview for the Batman, Superman, Public Enemies, and I haven't really looked to see how much of it they show, because I was never crazy about that series
Well,
as a
it's
comic
Jeff
book.
Loeb.
It's Jeff Loeb, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's Ed McGuinness, and while I like Ed McGuinness's drawings,
I actually I will speak up, and this is me saying of Jeff Loeb's work. I kind of like the Public Enemy storyline. I thought it was it's the world's finest Public Enemy storyline, right?
I have mixed feelings about it, because there are things I like about
Yeah.
it, and at the same time, it's Jeff Loeb doing the same thing he did with Hush, where it's like, hey, here's my chance to write all these iconic characters into this one story,
Yeah.
or
Who
more
I
like,
know- who
more
I
like to
know
crowbar
really-
them in,
yeah,
because
who-
I know it'll make people buy the book.
Who I know very little about, actually.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
Nonetheless,
Now,
I
I just wanted to say that when I was at Comic-Con and I got to see a long preview for the the Public Enemies, Superman Batman movie. You guys know how upset I get when people make jokes about Batman and Robin being gay or Batman being a pedophile.
Yeah, I don't
You're not a
understand
fan of that.
I don't like that at all.
Because it
But-
is funny, which is unfortunate that you don't
Yes.
see that.
But it's completely perverting something that's actually very pure.
I know.
But there are
Yeah.
scenes.
How could a circus acrobat be gay? Come on.
Yeah,
there-
how could a? I'm sorry. How can you pervert a sociopath who dresses up like a bat and beats the fuck out of
Hey,
people?
it's all
at
about
night
having.
and adopts a child.
It's all about
Adopt
having
a child, puts him in short shorts and
dead
fairy boots, and makes him
or-
run around over ceilings.
It's all about having a dead or shitty father.
Yeah.
So you go to a much cooler father figure.
Right.
Well, the Manson family was a family.
Keyword family.
But I would just say that, like, when they showed extended scenes from the Public Enemies movie coming up.
Did it look good?
Oh well, yeah, it looks good, and they did their best to recapture Ed McGuinness's art.
Well, they did get 3 things
Where-
perfectly right.
There's just some scenes between Batman and Superman where even with me, my brain's completely somewhere else. I was like, wow, those scenes are so gay.
Oh, okay. All right.
It really did make it. I mean, there's some dialogue between them and them helping each other out. I'm like, are you guys gonna kiss? I mean, they really came off as being like Apollo and the Midnighter from
my God.
The Authority.
At the end of it, when Batman comes out of the coma because he's been beaten so bad, Superman comes up and jumps up and down on the bed with them in slow motion as they hug and profess their friendship to each other. And
Had
then the
that-
whole rest of the Justice League comes in and hops up and down on the bed. For
Had
20
that
minutes.
happened, it would have been less gay than the scenes I saw.
Wow.
But it is Tim Daly as Superman.
Yeah.
No. I was
It is
excited about that.
Kevin
What's Casting
Conroy
is
is
Because that was the thing.
Batman.
Like, I went to the panel and it was really cool because they had Clancy Brown there and
plays Lex Luthor.
Right,
on.
right, and
Mr.
Kevin
Krabs.
Conroy, and there's a big deal about the return of Kevin Conroy as the voice of Batman because he's been Batman for 20 years now, or close to it.
Well,
Yeah.
he's the guy who all the fans of the animated series go, no one else
Yeah.
should voice
no
Batman
one has
but him."
ever voiced the character.
I mean,
that
hell,
way.
people are even like, you know what? If you're going to claim that in the new movies that he's wearing some sort of digital thing that alters his voice, why not just have
Just
it sound
get
like
Kevin
Kevin
Conroy.
Conroy?
Yeah,
no, they should have. And it's funny because Kevin Conroy is such a ham. He's kind of a goofball.
Yeah, but I
Except
mean,
when they have lines written for
there's
him.
no way if you're dressed up as a goddamn giant bat, you're going to say things dramatically.
No,
you're
no
going to
doubt.
ham it up a bit. That's just the way there is to it. I will say that, I mean, as gay as it might be, one of the things the series does explore is, and I always love it when anybody does this in the DC verse, is that really interesting relationship between Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I mean, Christ. both of their moms have the same name. I mean, it's Martha Wayne and Martha Kent.
Oh,
you know, and they're the ultimate parallel.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, this orphan who gets adopted by a loving family, and this kid who had a loving family, and then had them torn away from them. You know, Batman operates at night, Superman's the day guy. You know, yada yada yada. But when they explore that relationship between them, because of all of the superheroes in the DC universe, there are two guys that you know, whatever superhero you are, you're like, oh, that's Superman, or oh, that's Batman. And one is because, oh my God, that's Superman. He's the apex. He's the Apollo. And then there's Batman that you're just like, dude, everybody's fucking scared of him. Well, except Hal, but everybody for the most part is scared of him.
Well, it's kind of like the most recent thing that I saw where it was addressing the relationship between the two of them was actually in Wednesday Comics number 2 or 3, I think, in the Superman one, where Superman's basically feeling like he doesn't belong. You know, he's feeling out of place on Earth. He's in a funk.
and Batman just looks at him and he's just like, you know what, Clark? Suck it the fuck up.
Yeah, he's like, shake it off. Quit being a little bitch.
Get your head in the game, dude.
Yeah, he totally doesn't cut him any slack. Clark comes to him and he's all like, you know, I'm an alien. I don't belong here. You were raised here. Of course you belong here. Shut up. I mean, that's not what he says verbatim, but after a few minutes, Clark's just like, I don't know why I thought I could talk to you about this, and just flies off.
Batman at some
why
point
don't you
going-
go whine your mommy? Wait, you still have one.
Oh!
That must be nice.
Hey, Batman at some point goes, Jesus Christ! Really? You're the one who needs antidepressants? I mean, come on.
Yeah, you
You're
know where my
talking to
parents
me?
are? They're dead in an alley. Shut up.
And I can't get over it.
Yeah.
It's like, Superman, I got a hangnail. Oh, shut up.
So, speaking of superhero relationships, just because we're kind of free-forming tonight, has anybody been reading James Robinson's Justice League miniseries, Cry for Justice?
I read the first issue.
Oh my God, man!
It's open in a can. It's like, where's this gonna go?
Really fucking cool, and the second one has such great fucking.
The second one's
Yeah,
out?
the second one is
Yeah,
out.
it just came
I
out
think
today.
It came out today, and yeah, it's like, you know, Hal and Ollie on a rooftop in Gotham City talking about, like, you know, just relationships and stuff in general, and you know, Hal's like, I got a confession to make. I didn't really like Bruce. And Ollie's like, yeah, guess what? That's a two-way street. He didn't really like you either. And they're like, probably because you were the only person who wasn't afraid of him. He's like, well, you weren't afraid of him. He's like, yeah, I was. A little. I mean, it's just, the dialogue is fucking awesome.
Which is funny because Ollie is always giving Bruce shit.
Oh, yeah. He's and then, you know, Bruce is turning around and just going, yeah, right. Ever had an original thought in your life, Oliver?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. Hey, Oliver, what was that? The Arrow car?
Yeah,
the Arrow
car-
cave?
Aeroplane. Wow.
That's right.
Oh, who got to see Teen Sidekick? Wow, where'd you come up with that?
Well, I have a few questions left over from last week we never got around to because we were mainly doing the Comic-Con
Whoa.
stuff.
Can I just finish out?
Oh,
one
I'm
thing?
sorry, yeah.
I just want to say, I mean, they're bringing in he's bringing in some really obscure characters like Kongorilla, and then he's bringing in like mainstream characters that have not really been treated well, like
who's writing
Spider-Man?
James Robinson in this new Justice League series,
Black
like
Vulcan?
Ray Palmer, the Atom.
Oh, yeah.
He's just doing an amazing job on it. Man, check it out. It's like that and Wednesday Comics are my two comic book top
That's
picks
true. Wednesday
right now.
comics are awesome. Well,
Let's talk about Wednesday Comics later.
okay.
But,
Well, the last thing I want to say about the panel, about the DC animation panel, was that Clancy Brown was there. And,
wow.
And brought the fact that he actually auditioned for the part of Superman. Mm-hmm. He was like, he's like, you know, I was hoping that for once I could not play the bad guy.
What was funny is at the end of the panel, he cut off Tim Daly's head.
dude, he played Rawhide in Buckaroo Banzai. He's not always.
Well,
a bad
it was
guy.
just funny because they talked about like when they were like casting and Clancy Brown came in and Bruce Timm was like, Clancy Brown, really? He's like, well, he showed up. We'll go ahead and listen to him, but there's no way he's playing Superman. And then they heard him and were like, he's Lex Luthor. And Clancy Brown was just like, yeah, I thought it was going to be my shot. And yet again, and I kept wanting to yell, Mr. Krabs!
I know, that's
You
what I was about
Mr.
to say.
Oh, boy, where's me money?
Where's me money?
So if there's any casting director out there, man, give Clancy a heroic role.
Well,
Come on.
he plays Detective Stacy on Spectacular Spider-Man.
Oh, that's right. He does.
That's right.
that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. And he plays. He's
George
like
Stacy.
one of the head cowboys in The Burrowers, that horror western. That
He's a
came
good
out,
guy in that too.
Does he ever play a
So-
good guy who doesn't die in the first reel?
That's true. he
okay,
almost always dies. If he's
Spoiler.
a good guy, he's gonna die.
Although
Hey,
in the
Mr.
in the
Krabs is a good
sequel
dude.
in the
Krabs is there.
sequel that never got filmed, that was actually written to Buckaroo Banzai, Rawhide does live. So
Well, I thought they really. Oh, well, yeah, but that doesn't count. It wasn't by the guy who made it. It was by
but
our
it
friend.
was awesome nonetheless.
It was awesome. That was just fanboy wish fulfillment.
yeah.
That was by that homeless guy under the Congress
No,
bridge.
that was by Ernie Klein.
Yeah, who wrote Fanboys,
Fanboys.
yeah.
Actually wrote the sequel to Buckaroo Banzai,
Which is a
and it-
damn good
Again,
script.
yeah. It
the
went out
homeless
over the
guy
internet.
under the Congress bridge.
Hey,
Yeah, well, I actually read
homeless
this.
guy is someone with his professor wife in New Jersey, and he's making far more money than us.
I actually read a sequel to Empire Strikes Back. It was Empire Strikes Back Part 2.
It's written by Hurley.
Okay,
on Lost.
yeah.
It was Empire Strikes Back Part 2, and it's where a young guy named he's Han Solo's young son. His name's Jason, and I wrote that. I mean, Juan, we're talking about fan fiction.
I thought
we
I
were talking
wrote
about
that.
fan fiction
Jason
that
of
more
Star
than
Command.
one person noticed.
Now
See,
we know
I
what
was
you've been
such-
doing on your OxyContin all week. Even
I was such a
fan
big fan of
fiction.
Empire Strikes Back and Evil Dead 2. I found a perfect crossover between the two.
Don't do it.
Where Luke Skywalker's hand
Oh God! All right,
becomes the master of the Force.
and that's how we came to the questions.
Leave it to Cyrus to
I love
fuck it all up so we can.
Yeah.
That's your segue.
No more free forming.
We don't have any segues. We have you saying uncomfortable shit, and so it's like, all right, well, I guess that topic's
That
done.
wasn't uncomfortable.
That's a perfect passive aggressive move. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you guys won't let me do the questions? I'll just say something that'll kill every conversation.
Exactly.
Oh my god, I haven't even hit on a woman yet.
Conversational.
Yes, you have.
Well, you don't count. You're my buddy.
Oh, hey, guess what? You
and
don't
Mary's
actually count
not
a female in my eyes.
Wow, you just
I don't think I find
summed
that-
up every relationship I had in the 1990s, Cyrus.
I don't think I find that complimentary. You know what you just said.
Oh, you're hot and all.
Once again, you've summed up every relationship I had. in the 90s.
You're hot and all, but you don't count. And Allison's
my
a dude
buddy.
with boobs.
Yeah, you're not that smart, but I'll shit. I'll
I just
bone
think if
you,
he was
you know,
one of the
what hell?
guys, really.
You're too smart to be hot. Oh, sorry. No, I didn't actually say that.
Wow.
Let's just have sex and not go out,
Right.
because that'll work.
Does that work for you?
It did in the 90s.
Okay, maybe we better get to the questions after all. All right, this will piss you off. Brendan B says, "Hey, Leog, what's your favorite kid or teen superhero, and is there one that isn't annoying as fuck?"
Robin.
Generally, no. But
Hey,
yeah.
man.
What about the Teen Titans?
What about
Exactly.
What about Spider-Man?
Listen.
Yeah.
Robin, Dick Grayson. Not only was he like the number one apex, the template of kid, of teen sidekicks, but he has recently became his own hero, and now he's the Batman.
Yeah,
He's Batman.
I mean,
It won't last.
he really is like possibly my favorite or my second favorite DC superhero of all time.
wow, really?
Yes.
Yeah, but
No,
early
I've
on,
always
he was
loved
just the jock that kept wrecking the grading curve for everyone else.
It's funny because on the Adam West series, when they like showed him like which college he went to Disco Tech.
Nice.
to learn the
Where he-
Batusi.
No, I think they've taken like I think they took Speedy, the Green Arrow's original sidekick, and put
Real
him through
interesting
some
things with
really
him.
interesting changes, including being a heroin addict.
Yeah,
for
the
Christ's
dude had the
sakes.
best connections.
Yeah, there you go.
The fuck do you expect, Ollie? You named me Speedy.
You named me Speedy, fucker. Yeah, I mean, they took him, they made him into Arsenal. Now he's Red Robin. I mean, I've liked him in all his incarnations.
Red
loved,
Arrow. No, he's Red
I loved Judd Winnick's take on him in the Outsiders. I mean, there are plenty of characters that start out as kid superheroes that are annoying, but you got to understand, when they start out as kid superheroes, kids are annoying.
Yeah.
So
Well,
they're going to be
basically.
annoying, and that's why Impulse is really fucking annoying.
Well, again, Brendan B., read a fucking Spider-Man, for God's sakes, okay?
Yeah.
Because, the original teen superhero. Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who was not annoying.
The other one I
Well,
Well,
he's kind of, when
yeah,
it first
he kinda
started, he was a
was.
bitch.
Okay,
In the
fair.
early
I mean, he was
episode-
interesting,
early-
but he's always like, oh, God, Aunt May's sick. Oh, God, I can't get a girlfriend. Oh, geez, I have to fight crime, but
And,
I don't
well,
really like doing it.
also,
It's just like, dude,
in the early
just
issues
suck it up.
of Amazing Spider-Man, he wasn't just whiny. he was just a mean-spirited little son of a bitch.
Well, he was a nerd that got a taste of power. Then you
Well,
know
exactly,
how that
yeah.
goes.
Yeah, well, in the very first Amazing Fantasy 15, he's just like, you know, hey, I got spider powers now. You guys can all kiss Peter's ass. Fuck you guys.
Well,
Yeah. My uncle's dead.
I gotta say, like, you know, as far as, you know, teen nerds who are depressed go, which I'm sure some of us could probably identify with, not saying myself.
Oh,
but,
no, not at all.
No, none of us
He
were
was
nerds.
dating like an older chick in his office. He was doing pretty good for
Yeah,
himself.
he was doing
Yeah.
very good
Well, that was
for
after
himself.
he got to college, though, and that's where he
No.
No. He's
When
still
he
in
was
high
dating
school.
Betty
He was
Brant,
dating Betty Brant.
she had dropped out of high school and become a secretary, so she was like a year or two older than him. But yeah, he was hitting that.
Older high
While he
school
was in high
dropout.
school.
Yeah, he was hitting that.
Honestly, and that was one thing, like, going back and reading him now, I was like, there's no way Flash Thompson and all those guys would have still been like his enemy. The moment he was dating a girl in that situation, they would have been like, well, shit.
But they didn't know.
Yeah, it's like Can't Buy Me Love.
Yeah, they had no clue. That was his out of his high school life.
It is like Can't Buy Me
Well,
Love, though,
and
you're
and
right.
that whole like that whole Ditko run when he's in high school. I mean, it is just like, you know, being not the hopeless dork, but the smart guy in high school. And like your freshman and sophomore year, he's like, "God, dude, I hate that guy. He's such a dweeb. He's such a nerd." And then the closer they get to graduation, they're like, "Oh wow, being smart is actually kind of not so dorky. It's actually useful and helpful now that I'm taking all these tests and trying to get into college." And by the time he did graduate, he did have lots of friends in high school, and Liz Allen, the popular girl in school, had a crush on him, and
Yeah.
so on and so forth. I mean, that's almost parallel to my high school experience. Actually, is like, you know, when I started to get into junior and senior year, people were like, "Oh well, you know, you're weird, but you're kind of eccentric and cool."
And when
So
you got
what-
bitten
yeah.
by a spider,
And when I
Yeah, yeah.
got-
What
all you got was a
worse,
when
your
I
ability to
got
stick to
bitten
walls
by
or-
that radioactive, sarcastic asshole,
known as your father.
There's one hero.
there was a reckoning, my friends.
Yeah.
If this be my destiny,
I have a mighty staph infection now.
and I have a mighty staff. Oh,
You were bitten by a radioactive black man?
God.
I was bitten by Marty's dad.
There's one that just came back in print, and especially now that DC's doing the Milestone universe. But Static Shock by Dwayne McDuffie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
classic.
when Milestone Universe came around, Static was their Spider-Man. Like Static was their Spider-Man, and Hardware was their
It was kinda
Batman
their-
/ Iron Man.
Yeah, he was a
And-
weird amalgam that way.
Right, and what's the name? Icon was their Superman.
Icon, that's right. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm going to drive away from comics here for a minute and ask a movie-related question that just
What?
comes from me.
We talk about movies on this.
Well,
site?
okay, this has been... Yeah, I know, right? This has been a shitty summer for movies.
I
You know,
agree.
it's
oh
funny
God,
because
yeah.
it
Yep.
started out being like the summer everybody was excited about,
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's so much coming.
Up and Star Trek and all that.
Which you
early
just
on.
named the two movies that
Yeah.
were worth seeing.
Yeah.
So
You know?
did you see Harry Potter and not like
I
it?
have not seen Harry Potter yet.
I saw it.
I still haven't seen it yet. I haven't had time to see it. But let's talk about what movies, what was really good and what were really big disappointments this year for everybody. And everybody hears from Leon and I all the time on the main site.
Who's
So
asking
let's-
this question?
No, I'm asking this
You are?
question. Yeah.
Okay.
Just, what are the summer movies so far that like did live up to your expectations or even exceeded them? And what were the ones that were just big disappointments that just fuck that movie?
Star Trek was really. I haven't seen Up yet, unfortunately. I heard it was fantastic. But yeah, Star Trek's really the only one that lived up to it. And you guys all know my feelings on Harry Potter. I mean, fuck that kid. But I went into the movie with an open mind, and I told you guys this actually before one of the episodes I didn't make it to. But I was watching the latest Harry Potter, and about 2 hours in, I took a bathroom break and went in. And I'm standing at the urinal, and all of a sudden, I had an epiphany. I was like, "What the fuck is this movie about?" It wasn't about. It was just like a bunch of shit happening at Hogwarts. There was no through storyline. It was just a bunch of random stuff, and I mean, it was all well executed and everything. But I asked my brother. I was like, "No, tell me, what was it about?" And he's like, "Well, you see, there's a Half-Blood Prince, and it's blah," and he couldn't tell me. There's nothing concise about it.
Honestly, Jason, I probably told you this before, but it's one of these situations where it's the book that's leading up to the book. And as books go, it was my least favorite book. As a movie, they pulled it off way better than I ever expected them
Really?
to.
Yeah.
And to give you what you wanted, what you needed, which I understand. I don't fault you for it. To make it a complete story, they would have had to go away from the book so much that they couldn't even have given it the same title.
Well, apparently
Well,
they
and
did.
they couldn't like. Well, yeah. There was definitely some concision there. They definitely squashed some stuff together. They definitely took some stuff out or portrayed it in different ways to make it go by faster. But yeah, I mean, literally, if they had like established that dead-on through line, which does make a B movie into an A movie, they couldn't have done. They wouldn't be able to do the next two movies.
Right.
I mean,
Allison-
they would have left too much out.
You know that Lego piece that's like bizarre? It's like the 2-prong that goes into the 4-prong. And you don't know what to do with this Lego piece. I mean, you can't make anything. You can make shit out of the like regular blocky pieces, and it totally makes sense. But that little random piece, that's what this movie was. It was the random 2-prong to 4-prong Lego piece.
and that's how it is story-wise. But the thing is, like, director-wise, he's totally got his thumb on
It
the
was
pulse
beautiful.
now.
Yeah.
That was
the
gorgeous.
the actors are finally at an age that they can actually fucking act.
Yeah, I thought the acting was superb.
It's gotten to this point where everybody's at their height of their powers, and unfortunately, you know, the story's a little disjointed because it's that weird fucking
The
Lego
best part
piece.
of the
It's a
movies,
great
though, are all
analogy.
the little quiet moments.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the moment when Harry and Hermione are sitting there commiserating over what it's like to be in love
Yeah.
with someone who's in love with someone else, or even the moment, like, the moments with Draco in that bathroom fight.
Oh,
which
yeah.
I think
wish
I'm the
there
only
would've been
person
more.
who thought, like, saw that and saw echoes of like Eastern Promises in that.
No,
God!
you're not. I saw that.
So
too.
Draco was
y'all-
completely naked.
I was gonna say
That was the
version?
only thing that was
They're
missing.
dueling with wands. What do you want?
Yeah.
Oh boy!
But
Y'all,
the-
so
the
y'all,
emotional
Harris, you
trauma
were
he's going
watching the
through.
film and wishing that Harry and Draco were naked while they were dueling it out. Is that what you were saying?
Well, that would have made it a lot more
If
interesting. for me at that point,
he
yeah.
wasn't, I'm certain there were people that were.
Yeah.
Well,
You know,
yeah,
but
and there's lots of artwork already on the internet
Yeah.
about it.
the thing is, like, I mean, if you love the characters, it's a very successful movie.
Well,
but only
yeah.
because you've had, you know, either you've read the books and gotten into the characters, or you've seen all the movies and gotten into the
That was
characters.
the big flaw. They
You
don't
know,
introduce
and
anybody.
it is a movie that absolutely does not stand up on its own. But when it stands up with the other movies, it's the best thing that they've done.
Yeah, well, you know, it had so many threads. I mean, just as a movie by itself, even with a history, you know, I've seen all of the other movies. I was still like at the end when they reveal who the Half-Blood Prince is. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm the Half-Blood Prince. It's like, oh yeah, that thing, the Half-Blood Prince thing, whatever. And then, you know, it's like there's this wolfish-looking guy running around, and apparently he was a Death Eater. That was never made clear. I was supposed to know his name. Didn't know what it was until it was explained to me later. But yeah, I
Just more than making up.
I have a
for your
confession.
lack of
you-
appearance on the Harry Potter episode. Now,
So you feel like it was an
Exactly.
in joke that you weren't a party to.
yeah, it was. There was a lot of stuff in there that just wasn't explained, and a lot of things within the movie that seemed important but were
Right.
never
I can understand.
followed through with. And yeah, that was annoying as hell. And but I do have a confession though. I'm on page 50 of the first book.
Yay!
Awesome.
oh my god!
Okay,
One of
Jason.
us.
And I gotta
starts.
say, you know, as far as that stuff that they didn't explain, good. I'm so sick of
Thank you,
movies
Bo.
that are doing adaptations, going like, oh, I've got to explain the exact way that this
Mechanics.
particular thing is important because the fans will really love. Who cares?
The
no,
the purists
fans
drives
will know.
me. They drive me
yeah.
nuts how they want
Yeah.
every little thing. I mean, look, my
Can't
whole
do
thing
it.
is like, look, between like everybody wanting to have a movie made, like, you know, video games and comic books and movies and television shows and cartoons. Like, why do you need a movie made of that to legitimize what you
Exactly.
like? Just love it for what it is.
And that's why New Frontier is great. Anyway,
but
Kristen saw it.
seriously,
Kristen saw with me. I mean, what did you think about it?
I absolutely loved it because it was my least favorite book. But
Whoa,
it was my
thank
most,
you,
It was my
sweetheart.
most favorite movie, and like, I was very glad this time that I had not just read the book because my sister calls me the other day, just livid because she's like, "This is wrong and that's wrong, and they didn't do this and this detail's missing," and I'm like, "No, don't compare." You won't
Yeah.
enjoy it if you're comparing.
Go
'cause
back and
they
read
just-
the book.
They can't. But I mean, some of the stuff she pointed out, though, she had reminded me because I hadn't read the book in so long, I forgot. And one of the details I guess did piss me off that I got left out is during the final fight scene, Dumbledore casts a spell on Harry to freeze him.
Yeah.
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 And so because they didn't do that in the movie, she's like, well, now Harry's going to have this huge guilt complex that he didn't do anything, when in the book, he couldn't have done anything. So I was like, I just totally forgot about
I
that.
think they ironed that over with him just saying, look, I told do what I tell you, period, in a sentence.
Yeah,
But I would agree
agree.
with you, Kristen, because they left a lot of that. Like, Snape is not as evil in the movie as he is in the
Spoiler.
book. Oh, yeah. Spoiler. I'm the Captain Spoiler in this episode. but-
It seems to me that this movie was definitely made already knowing what's going to happen in 7. Like,
Right.
I think had 7 not already been out yet,
It would have been
It
different.
would have changed it.
Yeah.
But because they're setting it up to be like, well, if you know what already happens in book 7, nod and a wink here.
Right.
The only problem I had with the movie was how they handled the end, because there should have been more to it.
Yeah, wouldn't
I
it-
wanted some closure, so I was sad that the funeral wasn't in there. I would have liked to have had
Yeah.
the funeral. I'm like,
Well,
I need a
funeral came out of
closure.
Spider-Man 1. I mean, it's like, I'm sorry, attractive redhead whom I've loved all these years. You can't be with me right now. It's too dangerous. I'm off to go alone and brood alone.
It's
Brooding.
funny you say that, because as I was reading it, I was thinking back to Spider-Man 1.
And it's true. It was supposed to be like this whole like angry Stanford's pistol. I know, Dumbledore. But then it turned into like a Pink Floyd concert at one point.
Was there a
like-
laser show?
There's like everybody's holding their
lighting their
lighters
wands.
up in the
I know.
air.
Play
the
Freebird.
Well, I'm kind of hoping they open the next movie with the funeral to remind us, hey,
right,
remember
Dumbledore's
that thing that
dead.
happened? That would be great to start.
probably
out.
will.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
Jason, I just wanted to say to you, while you're starting to read the first book, stop.
Okay.
And
That's
either
okay.
either buy or download the audiobook.
Oh, with Stephen Fry?
with Jim Dale.
Jim Dale, right.
reading it. He's
Yeah.
amazing.
I've actually heard some of that.
Honestly, his reading on the audiobooks to me is better than the movies and reading it.
Oh wow.
Because
Wow.
I totally forget that it's one guy doing all the characters. He brings it to life better than any
Cool.
experience I can.
I actually
remember.
have most of the Jim Dale reading most of the books on audiobook on some
I like
hard
that
drive.
one
Go
that
that
you're
way.
supposed to queue up with the movie. You know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Wizard people, dear reader.
Yeah, Wizard People.
Brad-
dear,
Brad
dear
Neely.
reader. Brad
Yeah.
Neely in the Sorcerer's Stone.
Which is awesome if you ever get a chance to experience the magic.
I've never
there.
heard of this.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
You have
It's basically
seen
this guy and
It's riff tracks
yeah.
for Harry Potter. And
you,
Why would I
you,
make that
you
fun
can
of
you
it?
can get it off the net, but there have been times that they've done it live at the Alamo and other places around the country and
Until
he-
Warner
he-
Brothers sent them a cease and desist.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
was
they got
about
to
to say.
cease and desist, and you know, it was basically they would show the very first Harry Potter movie, and then they would have this guy just like doing like basically acting as a narrator and doing all of the voices, and he talked like this, and he was just,
Ew, a
and
little
it
bit.
was, I mean, you know. He wasn't doing Harry Potter. He was just doing like
It was like
this
Prairie Home
mad-
Companion.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mad
okay.
Movie meets Prairie Home Companion weirdness.
Hello, I'm Michael Caine.
Yeah.
and I'll be reading Harry Potter.
It was so bizarre, but it was so hilarious. So it was so well worth the checking out.
So to get away from Harry Potter, the question: summer movies.
Can we ever really?
Summer movies. What was good? What was bad? Let's move on to Bo.
Does Watchmen count as a summer movie? When did that
No.
actually come out?
No,
Yeah,
that was-
okay.
that was
March.
That was spring.
I was, as I have iterated before, incredibly pleasantly surprised by Star Trek. So that is I said, you know, after it came out and I saw it, I was like, all right, this is going to be the fun. This is going to be the fun movie to see this summer, and indeed it was.
If I may quote Cyrus's patented new phrase, it was full of fuck yeah.
It was full of fuck yeah, yeah, absolutely. You know, they treated the franchise with respect, which was the one thing that I was really afraid that J.J. Abrams wasn't going to do. And that being accomplished, everything fell into place, and it was a great little action flick. I'm very curious to see what they do with the franchise from here on. Other than that, as far as like, you know, big action and stuff like that, you know, the really the only other movie that has lived up to expectations of like, oh fuck yeah, was Harry Potter, you know, just because and Kristen said it the best, which is like, you know, not my favorite book, my favorite movie, just because all those things production wise fell into place, you know, great production values, great direction, great acting, period. Other than that, nothing has really tickled me, and and I knew this was going to be a fallow year. I knew it. You know, there weren't any big superhero movies coming out. There weren't a lot of things. The only thing prior to the summer coming out that I was vaguely interested in was Public Enemies, and that turned out to be a piece of crap. So
Wow, you didn't like it at all. Huh?
yeah, well, it wasn't that wasn't that I didn't like it. I was just like, yeah, I'm not invested in these characters.
It's a
at all.
huge disappointment compared to
Wow.
what it could have been.
Oh
in
yeah,
my
I was like, wow, Michael Mann doing and Johnny Depp playing Dillinger and,
Yeah.
and Christian Bale
I
playing the
felt the
guy
same
after
way.
him. Right on. This looks
Leon
great.
wasn't expecting much.
Well, you know what? What I realized is like you guys have a higher opinion of Michael Mann than I do.
Yeah.
So that's why, to me, I was.
I don't think
pleasantly
he's a god or
surprised.
anything, but I think he knows how to make
I don't.
I think he knows how to make an above par action movie.
I don't like most of his movies.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I was like, wow, he surprised me.
Yeah, you don't even like Heat, which I don't
Yeah,
understand
I don't
at
like
all.
Heat.
No, yeah, that is.
Oh, I could go on about what I don't like about
Yeah,
him.
There's
we've
no
had
reason
that
for-
discussion,
Yes.
and it did not resonate with me.
Oh,
But I
thank
love
you,
you
Allison.
anyway.
I fucking hate Heat.
Thank
I
you.
just-
Okay, so we'll be skipping Allison's turn and moving on.
We
to-
will
Next to
not.
you again.
You hate Heat?
I do.
So do I.
just,
Right
it's
here?
just
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
You
It's
too?
awesome.
They're
Yeah.
everywhere.
it's overblown.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
just
Yeah,
spare
so
me.
much potential just completely
This
wasted.
is disturbing.
I agree. I agree completely.
Jeez.
Bo, let's kill them all.
Well, see, I'm not to the point where I love Heat. I just like it. I think it's a decent movie, but again, I'm surprised by
you're
the
dead,
level
too.
of hatred. Yeah, okay. I'm perfectly happy to be dead to you.
So, Allison,
It's not like I sleep here anymore. I'll go be dead at my apartment.
Allison, what movies did you love or hate this summer?
Well, I was gonna yes, I will second Bo on the Star Trek because beautiful. As an art direction major in college, that to me is always one of the things that I grade is the art direction, and it was so beautiful. It wasn't overdone.
Right.
Like
I love the way they treated the costumes and everything.
It
when they
was-
were so respectful of the
They
original.
were. They
really
design,
were.
but although I'm still a little on the phaser, but that's me.
I'm very upset at the people who are like, "Oh, it's nothing but lens flares." I'm like, really? Nothing
all you
but lens
saw?
flares. That's all you saw. I'm pretty sure you're terribly wrong.
But I thought it was just beautiful. And like so many things that come out these days, sometimes they put way too many like sound effects, blowing your skin off of your skull kind of stuff in the film. And this was like it was good.
It had restraint.
It wasn't over the top. And Mr. Quinto is on my Amazon wish list. You're
So,
excited.
Nakato, if you heard that,
You can make that happen. My eternal gratitude.
You can totally
it's
pull
funny,
it off. I've
'cause-
seen your photo.
I used to get coffee at Quack's every morning, and there was
With
a
the
guy
ears.
who would come in. He looked exactly like Zachary Quinto,
Oh,
and I kept wanting to go
wow.
like, "Dude, you're like that
I know.
evil guy on Heroes." And I was gonna say that to him, but I was like, "Shit, what if he saws the top of my head off?" Like, I said that.
And devours your powers.
Wow, I'm going to do that to the next person who tells
Suddenly-
me to look like Quentin Tarantino.
Suddenly,
Wasn't
this
gonna
guy
say
walking
anything,
into
but since you
Quacks.
brought it up.
Suddenly, this guy walking into Quacks has the ability to spoil movies.
Didn't some
man,
ass
don't you
munch
start that
say
shit,
Didn't some ass munch say you look like a fat
Yeah,
drunken
he was like,
Tarantino?
"Wow, Bo looks like an alcoholic, fat Quentin Tarantino," and I
There's
was
a
just like,
sober Quentin
and I
Tarantino?
did the only proper response when somebody says something like, which it comes from History of the World Part 1 by Mel Brooks, which is really, it's always you look like the piss boy. Really, you look like a bucket of shit.
I love that. It's like I love Leon. By the way, you're repulsive.
And you look like a bucket of shit.
Thanks so much.
I love that.
Well, okay, so you like Star Trek. What else?
I really did.
What let you down?
Harry Potter, I'm on the fence about. I mean, it didn't disappoint me terribly, but it wasn't the triumphant success. It's because the book was. I just got through it. I didn't really totally love it. I don't know. It was medium.
I mean, for me, like, I was just loving the Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
And then I read that one, and I was like, wow, maybe I've outgrown these. So when I read the
it
last
was too
one,
long.
I wasn't super enthusiastic about it just because of what this one was. But seeing the movie, I was so like, oh, this is awesome.
But I'm curious as to what they're gonna do with the Dobby character because
Because they haven't mentioned him in a while.
I think they can work around that fairly easily.
Are we getting
Okay.
sucked back into Harry Potter?
Yeah, we're
I'm
not going to
sorry,
do that.
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
we're out of that Harry Potter event
Sorry.
horizon. Go, move on to something else.
Which,
Talk
which
about-
I think really gives a great answer to what were the great movies this year.
the-
There weren't any.
Yeah.
well, let's move back into what a
disagree on that
fucking
one.
piece of shit Transformers 2 was.
I remember, like, I didn't see it when you guys had done the podcast, and so I couldn't comment to it. And then I saw it later with a friend, and I was like, I'm going in here with all these preconceived Leog tracks
Sure.
in my head.
Hanging out with non-Leog folk, I might add.
Yes.
What
yeah.
the hell?
Well, whatever. You've got to,
Well, that's not right.
Realize you're not allowed to see movies without us.
We were in her head,
Okay,
Obviously.
that's
We
way
were on
too
her
scary.
shoulders.
much like the professor with Firestorm.
It's my fault, guys. It was my week.
Oh, wow.
It was my deep.
You
like that?
pulled that out of the recesses of your colon.
Yes, I did.
It was my day to be monitoring her remote camera in her apartment, and I was
I
was not
escaped.
paying attention.
This just
so
took
I'm
a
sorry.
turn for the really creepy.
I escaped the webcam in my bedroom. But anyway, so
By the way, you did not put the lotion on your skin.
I
You
will
were
get the hose
informed
again.
to.
By
But
hose, she means no. Go ahead.
Good night, everybody. Yeah,
I had said that there would have been a bleak
Okay,
silence.
okay.
Yeah, do you
And
see
a
how
damn
much?
Cyrus,
Do you see how much
Jesus.
better it works when a pretty girl says it?
She's,
No, I'm talking about Jason.
Oh, yeah.
Allison's been trying so
He's
hard
been sick.
to tell this one linear story, and this is what people hate about Family Guy: is how they can never go straight
Oh,
through
by
the
the
plot
way-
because there's always, oh, you remember that time when?
You know, this reminds me of the time that Jason and I tried to sell uranium to Kazakhstan.
Ladies and gentlemen, Conway Twitty.
or walruses crawled out of my asshole. Whichever.
So anyway,
I hate Family
you're
Guy
in-
too, just for the record.
So you've heard the Leon
yeah.
podcast. Everybody
it
on
hurt when they
Spill is
pulled
talking
out your
about
soul?
Transformers 2, but you go see it anyway.
I go see it and I'm trying to keep an open mind, and then the Ghetto Bot 3000 comes on the screen, and I'm like, all right, you really have to be kidding me. You have to be, this is a joke, right? This candid camera, somebody's going to pop out and be like, this is the Leog .5. Candid camera for Allison. But no, it keeps going, and like the whole,
Do you like my gold toofus?
yeah, I was like, wow. I don't even know what to say. And I'm with two people, and
Race-
they're like, wow.
Racism is not inborn, but it can be programmed.
Apparently.
It's one of those moments where you look around to see if anybody else saw what you saw, and over the next seat to you is Jar Jar Binks, and he's going, man, that's fucked up.
I did not see
Misa
this
calling
movie.
NAACP, Annie.
I did not see this movie, and I will not see this movie. But I looked at the comments of the initial review where people were like, I don't understand why you think this is racist. And it's like,
Then
I don't
you're an
understand
idiot.
how you can remember how to breathe.
Okay. For the record, I thought that the Adam Sandler character in The Water Boy was racist because I'm Cajun and I'm not stupid. So
I will back her up on that.
thank you
Yeah.
very much. Kristen and I are
It's true.
both
Cajuns
Cajun.
are not stupid. They're wily like gypsies.
And we love our seafood. I don't know.
And they will steal your children.
They will.
And sell them for hubcaps. Come on.
Shiny
Guaranteed.
Oh, God. I'll be taking that
Hey,
baby.
for the record, about a quarter of my bloodline is coon-ass Cajun, so I am just throwing that weight around.
I'll be taking that baby, mon cher, and
Bo,
whatever
you claim
hubcaps you got.
any racial group that's known for drinking.
Yeah.
Like you're a quarter
Yeah.
Native
Part
American
that.
too, I bet.
You,
Native American and Russian.
You have seen me
Cajun,
drink,
and
have you
Irish.
not?
Yes, I have.
You can put away that hoot.
I'm just saying.
Anyway, so I went into that movie with an open mind, thinking I'll just give it a chance.
Unlike the director, who apparently does
it-
not have an open mind.
Yeah, it fulfilled everyone's horrible.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Didn't see it.
and not only that, but wow, if you just want clips of Megan Fox running around in a sweaty
Go on.
It's called the internet.
Do
Whether-
not stop.
yeah.
Keep it going.
I mean,
called Google.
Yeah, I mean, toward the
Googler.
end, they do like a good 15 minutes of Baywatch shots.
yes,
with her.
precisely. She's
And I'm
got like
hey,
a little shirt.
Normally,
on.
I would want
Oh,
this
shit,
kind of
I'm
thing.
in.
Yeah,
but
You
not
can
just thrown in my face.
You can
like
just
that.
put in the letter M into Google,
Yeah.
and the first 80,000 things will be links to
Actually,
Megan
if you
Fox
want to get the
articles.
really cool stuff, just Google sausage finger. I'm sorry.
and I'm not.
Wait,
I'm
I
not.
thought it was Lemon Party.
I'm not above seeing some gratuitous boobies in a film. I will.
Well, that makes two of us. That's
Applaud
good.
that with the rest of the
We've
league.
got so much in common.
Yes,
We do.
I'm going to hold the film festival for you.
But
Do we have any questions about boobs this episode?
yeah, It was a little too much.
Not so far. I'm sorry. I stopped paying attention when y'all are talking.
Anyway, that's it for me.
Now,
That's
Harris.
it. Well, that was a good answer, though.
I recently watched The Unborn because I didn't see
I'm
it in
so
the theaters.
sorry.
Yeah,
Ah.
that had some good stuff in it, but it really just derailed.
It derailed.
Yeah, I mean, it had some creepy shots and some
Super creepy.
scenes.
That whole like into the sanitarium thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But that girl could not act her way out of a
No.
paper bag.
One trick pony.
Oh my god, she was terrible.
Well, Harris, you're the guest, which means you get to go last.
Yeah.
But Kristen over here was dying to give her answer.
Oh, Kristen, my God.
I crawled out of my corner that you sent me. Earlier.
Good.
For me, it was less than 30 seconds on one movie this summer that blew my mind out of the back of my skull, and just wanted me to stand up in the movie theater and go, Pixar, I can't believe it. You have the gall to do that. You're amazing. And it was
yeah.
it was during the montage sequence of them going over the course of their life. They imply a miscarriage.
Yeah.
And
wow.
I couldn't believe it because in our society we don't talk about it. We romanticize pregnancy, and a lot more women go through it than anyone
Miscarriages
will admit.
are so much more commonplace than
Yeah.
actual births.
It just blew my mind that they would do it, because if you're a small child watching it, you're going to gloss over that, not know what the fuck's happening. But any thing to me that you watch as a child and it can grow up with you later, when you know what that scene means, like, it motivates the characters to why he's going to latch on to this little boy later.
Yeah.
And just the fact that they would even do it, because no one will talk about it in our society. So I was just like, oh my God, Pixar, just thank you for having the bravery to talk about something that people just are too afraid of.
Honestly, that entire montage, if you don't go through that and, like, if you're not, like, at least teary-eyed by the end of it, you have no soul.
You are a
You're
robot.
stone
And
Not only that,
cold.
you introduce, like, probably the coolest character in the whole fucking movie, the woman that he gets married to, and
Right.
then she dies, and you're like,
Which doesn't count as a spoiler because it's in the first 5 minutes of the goddamn film.
yeah,
And
I
because
know, I'm
Leon
sorry.
didn't say it.
Yeah. And really, if I hurt your feelings by telling you that, well, fuck you.
In the ear.
In the ear.
Fuck you right in the ear.
We already dropped the miscarriage spoilers.
All right, Kristen.
Well,
so
you
what?
might have glossed over it. It is less than 30 seconds.
Oh, I thought Cars was better.
Shut up.
Whatever.
Just kidding.
There
Wow.
wasn't a
We
moment
didn't
we
miss you at all over the last 4 weeks. So what was your disappointment?
I saw very few movies this summer. What did I see? I saw like 3 movies.
You know, all you have to do if you're excited about going to see something is ask Leon and I, and you can get in.
Oh, the also thing is too is because I don't have TV.
Yeah.
I don't see trailers, so I often don't know what's coming out. So you guys gotta be like, Kristen, this is the thing you'll
But
like.
you
Go
are
see
aware
it.
there's such a thing as the internet,
We've
and that they
got
do
it.
show trailers.
Yes, I'm
Gotta
aware.
see-
You've heard of this thing called television, and on it they do show shows.
We
totally
should,
need shotguns for this.
We should talk about what we're excited to see, because this movie season was a little lackluster.
Oh, it's
so.
too bad because we're in August now.
Yeah.
And August and September are the
The
worst.
doldrums.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids are going back to school. I can't.
Nobody talked about the movie this summer that really impressed Leon and I, which is 500 Days of
500
Summer.
Days of
Back to bring
Summer.
that one up.
Oh my God! All you guys
wanna see it.
should really see
Yes.
this.
Yeah. Well, Harris, you haven't had your turn.
Yeah, that
so-
was, everyone else covered the other ones that I saw that were amazing, and, Up just reminds me that John Lasseter made a deal with Satan somehow, that he's always making these. But holy crap, 500 Days of Summer is like the relationship movie that everyone needs to see. 'Cause
Well,
everyone,
I guess it's time for me to go get a drink. All right.
No, it's an unhappy relationship
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
Unhappy.
it's
no.
not a movie for
Like-
everyone who's
Like
ever had a
Revolutionary
bad
Road?
breakup.
Yeah, love
If
that
you've-
one. No
if
thanks.
you've ever had your heart broken, which nobody can escape high school without getting their heart broken, it is the movie to see.
Yeah, I know I'm not the only person who's going to come out of that movie saying that, but holy crap, they managed to film like my one previous relationship of mine that messed me up for a long time.
Oh, really? Only one?
I
I
was
can think
gonna
of 3
say-
on my side.
This was sort of an amalgam.
Well,
of-
I mean, it was almost point for point. I could just see the train wreck coming, even allowing for what they tell you at the very beginning, just like watching where it's going to go. It's, oh, dude, I know where you're about to do. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't
Yeah.
look at it right there. Oh.
Well, the amazing thing about 500 Days of Summer is just that it got made at all, because it is so uncomfortable and awkward. And It's
Yeah.
about stuff that somebody went, we can't make a movie about this. Nobody wants to see this. And yet, clearly, there are people who do, because this was a great great movie.
Yeah, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words. It's one of those movies. Like I love the way it jumped back. Like so many movies now.
This
will
movie
like
was written by Don McLean.
do the jump back and forth in time, and it's one of those where like there's a counter on,
All right, I
how
haven't
many
seen
days
this,
they're
so I'm
together.
gonna step out.
Well, I'm not going to ruin it for you. It's just that, like, when they're on the low numbers of, like, the time in their relationship, you're like, oh, this is when it was happy, and it's fun. And then the counter skips to, like, the 300s, and you just brace yourself, because you know, like, oh, this is when it gets really
Well, the
bad.
best part, the part that like the kind of catches you by surprise is that they tell you from the very beginning this is a story of boy meets girl, but it's not a story of boy gets girl, and they start with the breakup, which is on day 283.
Yeah.
So then, they hit the day 300 afterwards when they're entering that little fragile period that's going to define the rest of their relationship together. And everyone who's gone through that knows exactly what's coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing that it's so painful, but it's so artfully done. You can't look away. And there's even points in it when, even from the early parts, when it's that awkward before they get together, when it's just so like, oh, I don't know if I can watch this. It's painful to watch. But damn, it's so good. I mean, of all the movies that I saw this year, and even like as much as I love Star Trek and went and saw it a second time, this was a movie that really stuck with me like 2 weeks later. Like I was thinking about it every day after I saw it.
Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite movies of the year. At the moment, it's a toss-up between that and The Brothers Bloom.
Yeah,
Which
I really
loved.
enjoyed the Brothers
Yeah.
Bloom.
Excellent film.
Yeah, it was.
Have you not seen that, Liam?
I have not. I've heard a lot about it, but I haven't seen it.
Written by the same guy who wrote Brick, which I don't know if you've seen.
I haven't seen
And
Brick.
who's
Okay.
the guy?
Ryan Johnson.
Yeah.
Who the guy who was also in
It's Gordon
Josh
Joseph
Gordon-Levitt.
Levitt.
no, Joshua Gordon-Levitt, who I love,
Joseph
who was
Gordon-Joseph.
Joe Levitt, who was also in 500 Days of Summer,
And G.I. Joe.
but
as Cobra Commander.
But who is the other lead?
Adrian
Deschanel.
Brody?
No.
No, in Brothers Bloom.
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo, who
Mark
I'm
Ruffalo
just
and-
liking.
Oh,
more
Adrian
and more.
Brody and,
Joe Levitt.
Yeah, it's Adrian Brody and Mark Ruffalo
Yeah.
in Brothers Bloom.
But the
And-
star of that film is the script.
Joseph
to be
Gordon-Levitt is
perfectly
only
honest.
he has
only
he has a
in 500
cameo
Days.
as like a no he has
Oh,
a
yeah, that's
cameo
right,
in
he does
Brothers
a
Bloom.
While everyone in Brothers Bloom acquits himself admirably, the star is the screenplay. Which, if
Rachel
you've seen
Weisz
Bri-
is
which-
my favorite one.
Oh yeah,
in Brothers
yeah.
Bloom.
But if
She's
you've
amazing.
seen Brick, that's no surprise. I mean, that star that is the screenplay. I mean, they got good actors to do it.
And
but
if you
you're
have
like,
not
wow.
seen Brick, by the way, go correct that mistake.
It's like
Watch,
Watch-
well, I will do that.
watching
Watch
this
it again.
astonishing poetry.
I've got it.
on
I'll
the
let you
screen.
borrow it.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
meant to bring you my Xbox tonight, but anyway, that's a different story.
All right, well, next time.
I want your Xbox.
Yeah, fuck off.
Hey, you got a Wii, motherfucker.
Normally people are
It
saying
always-
that to me.
It always comes back to the Wii.
I want
Yes.
a girlfriend and a pot of
What,
gold.
you think you get a
but-
Wii for free? No, you get a Wii, and then all your friends give you shit about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Oh,
But
right. That's
Brick,
fine.
Brick is like
Yeah, at the end of the night, when we all leave bitter,
I
you
still
have
got
that
the Wii. I
Yeah.
can go to sleep with it clutched in my arms.
That's all right, Wii.
Yeah, if
you
you-
still love me.
if you guys haven't seen Brick, it's like Fast Times at Dashiell Hammett High. I mean, it
That's
is
exactly what it is. It's crime noir
Actually,
set in a high school.
it's Raymond Chandler High. who's
Raymond
a much
Chandler.
better writer
Sure,
than
yeah.
Dashiell Hammett.
It is just stylish and original, and actually really funny in
my
parts.
God, it's
and
hilarious.
it's amazing. It is a
I'm all
really good
over that.
movie.
No, it is excellent. And Brothers Bloom is a romantic comedy set in the world of con films that works both as a con movie and as a romantic comedy perfectly.
Yeah.
And with that same sort of just brilliant cadences and back and forth, it's a pleasure to hear people talk in this guy's movies.
Yeah.
With
You know?
Brick, I was afraid it was going to be like a Greg Araki movie.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Oh, no.
I was scared of that too because I hate
she
that
hates
motherfucker.
Mysterious Skin. But
I hate that motherfucker. Like, he is on my lipstick list. When I go fucking Michael Douglas falling down, that motherfucker is in my crosshairs.
Holy shit!
This is what happens when we feed Allison liquor before the
I'm
podcast.
sorry.
I think somebody fed her after
And I
midnight.
think it's awesome. All right. We went to movies, so screw it. Let's get back to comics. you guys
fuck
keep
comic
talking
books.
about this Wednesday comics things.
Have
I
you
don't
not read Wednesday
I don't
Comics?
even know what it is.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
So I
I've
guess
got one.
in the olden days of the Sunday Funnies, when you used to open them up, now they're practically microscopic. I mean, there's like 20 fucking comics or comic strips on a page.
All
They're
of them
not
shitty.
funny.
All of them
Yeah.
shitty and non-funny.
Oh,
Not
that
funny.
wacky Marmaduke.
It used to be that when you got a newspaper back in the 30s, when I was enjoying Jerry Phosphates down
there
at the
we
drug
go.
counter,
Egg creams.
and egg creams,
Reading
and,
the latest serialized
and,
Fitzgerald.
and
soup
sniffing,
lines.
sniffing ether on a regular basis. When you got your Sunday Funnies, like each page had its own thing. It was like a whole page. Prince Valiant, a whole page. You know that
Popeye,
you know,
E.C.
a whole
Segar's
page.
Popeye.
Yeah, L.C. Segar's Popeye,
Spirit.
Crazy Cat,
Yeah.
The Spirit. You
Yeah.
know all these
Cats and
really
Jammer Kids.
really badass things.
Heathcliff.
Well,
and that's how
Heathcliff-
Leon
no, not Heathcliff,
lost
shut
the
up.
rest
Dan,
of their listeners.
Dan DiDio, much like Joe Quesada, is a nostalgia nut. But instead of being a nostalgia nut for Peter Parker being a teenager and fucking ruining Spider-Man, he is nostalgic in the sense that, wow, those are really great. What if we got some major comic book artists and some great writers, got them together and said, hey, let's do a periodical that will come out every week. You write one page of dialogue. You draw one page of script. You know, you do anywhere between 6 to 20 panels.
Yeah.
You know, however many you think will fit correctly on your.
It's basically a newspaper fold out
Yeah,
with a
it-
page of a comic
Yeah.
on each page. And you go like, oh, okay, so what? But it is the top creators at the top of their game.
It's top creators and the top artists, and I will go on the record as saying it is absolutely some of the most beautiful artwork that is
Yes.
happening in comics right now.
Wow, so it's a newspaper essentially.
It-
If
yeah.
I'm
not
not
like the
mistaken,
way you
but,
get
Bo,
it.
you can correct me. If this is like, if you don't get it from a comic shop, you can get it in Entertainment Weekly.
I
What?
think
USA Today is
USA
serializing
Today,
the-
I'm sorry, that's
there
what it
we
is.
go.
Yeah,
USA
they're running
Today.
the Superman story.
Yes, yes, that's okay. I know-
USA
I know it's
Today
one
is
of those.
running one of the strips, but and it's $3.99 a pop, and you might think, well, oh man, that's really expensive, but you get like, I think it's like.
It looks like about 12 comics.
Yeah, it's about 12 different comics. You get one page of each, and you get like these amazing fucking artists and writers. Some of them working for the right time, working together for the first time. Like you get Neil Gaiman working with Mike Allred doing Metamorpho.
Yeah.
which
Shit, bitch, that's all
And
you
from
had
what
to
I
say.
understand-
that's all I
From
had to
what I
say.
understand, that like the Metamorpho is one of the weakest parts of it. So
It is,
like everything
yeah.
else is gravy.
Actually, I'm liking the Metamorpho. Actually, one of the things I'm really liking, which I did not think I would like, but Dan DiDio is writing Metal Men.
See, I think that's one of the weakest
and,
ones.
and he's I'm liking the Metal Men. It's really cool. It's retro.
Well,
and
then they're
fun.
taking other like more obscure characters like Command D, who
Yeah.
like
Right.
nobody remembers, and they gave it to Dave Gibbons,
He's
who
doing, like,
did
Prince
the Watchmen,
Valiant.
Yeah.
and Ryan
Suk.
and they made it like old style Hal Foster, and it's
Yeah.
absolutely gorgeous.
Hal Foster's the original artist for Prince Valiant, the guy who wrote it from like 1937 to like the 1970s. And like I was saying, back in the old days, you got a whole page to do that sequential art, and Hal Foster was incredible, just beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful stuff. And
Right.
Ryan Sook is aping his style incredibly, and it just looks amazing. You're also getting like Kurt Busiek doing a Green Lantern, but
Right.
it's retro. It's a retro Green Lantern
It's
along the
very
lines.
New Frontier.
Yeah, it's
era.
along the lines of New Frontiers, and it's Kurt Busiek writing it with like this cool fucking logo that looks like.
Oh, I love it.
You know, the logo looks like the hotel sign for the Sands of Las
Right.
Vegas.
Yeah,
It's just-
yeah, very New Frontier.
It just looks awesome. It's this very 60s futuristic neo retro. And they have him, he's a jet pilot back in the 1960s in the jet age, just like in the New Frontier. Fucking awesome.
All
Let
of
me
them
a-
are good except for the Wonder Woman one.
Let me ask you this
really?
though.
that
Pretty
one's
much.
not
This is
good.
called Wednesday Comics. Does that mean it comes out once a week?
It
Yeah.
comes out. That's the other thing about it. Unlike all the other comic book series that you're following, it comes out every week on Wednesday.
And it's a limited series. I think there are only going to be 12 or something like that.
Something like that. I think they're going to tie up all the stuff within 12 to 15 issues, something like that.
It's
So
it's
if
just
you're one of
awesome.
those
And it's
people-
also,
who we call assholes, who only buys comics to collect them for value, this is one you can jump on.
Right. Okay,
Yeah,
because
it's-
there's no value.
And I do have to mention the Kyle Baker,
The Kyle Baker Hawkman.
my
Oh, yeah.
favorite
Like
artist.
nothing else he's done.
Yeah, he's doing Hawkman, and he's totally playing up the conservative hero against the forces of terrorism. And I mean, he's like on a fucking plane full of terrorists and going, yes, some of your compatriots are dead. Pretty soon you're going to wish you were with them. And it's just like, fuck yeah!
I mean, I've been a
Let's
long-time
go.
fan of Kyle Baker, and I'm, a critic sometimes. Sometimes I think he just half-asses just to collect a check. I mean, I've talked to him, and that really is what he
That
does.
is a fact. Yes.
Yeah, he's like, I just wanted to pay my weed dealer. So
We've
I
all
rushed
done that.
Yeah,
Listen to
but
this, Leon.
He goes. But I look at this Hawkman, and I go like, wow, this is some of the best art he's ever done in
It's
his
gorgeous.
career.
Yeah, and the space guy. What's his name?
Strange.
The Adam Strange stuff looks like
By Paul Pope.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
is
by
it Paul
Paul
Pope?
Pope, and it looks like they went to Mobius or one of the old 70s, 80s heavy metal guys
It is
and got them to
fantastic.
do the space opera. And it's fantastic. I mean, he's fighting a sentient race of blue gibbons. It's fucking awesome.
yeah, with piercings
Yeah,
and tattoos.
Man.
with piercings and tattoos, and there's blood, and it's so fucking
And
awesome.
he's playing with things, so you'll see Adam Strange rocketing through other panels with people
Yeah.
kind of commenting. He's like, wait, where did that come from?
All you got to do is mention Gibbons, and I'm all over
Yeah,
it.
and a lot of it is very, very accessible because I'm not the most knowledgeable guy when it comes to DC. Obviously, I called Adam Strange space guy, but yeah, it's one of those to where you can really just kind of jump in, and it's not steeped in continuity. It is very much geared towards bringing in new readers. It's excellent. And it's on issue 5, I think, as of this recording. So-
I'm glad to hear
thing that really
DC's
needs to be
reclaiming apes because you know what? Fuck Marvel apes. They sucked.
yeah,
DC has always had the license
Yeah,
on apes.
DC for decades they've all been about having the ape books, having
And
heroes
they're
turning
good at
apes.
the ape stuff.
And then suddenly Marvel does apes this year. I'm like, well, hey, what the hell, guys? You are not allowed to touch that.
Well,
yes,
now Marvel is doing,
DC
their own
does
Blackest
funny
Night,
monkeys
so-
Yeah.
always.
Yeah, Marvel's doing their own Blackest Night. They've got Selene, the Black Queen, is going to start resurrecting all the mutants in Genosha.
Are you
I'm not making that up.
Yeah, no, seriously, he's not
But
making this
Blackest
up.
Night
Yeah.
is just Marvel zombies, because I was talking to
Only
Leon
done
about this
better.
the other night. I was like, when I saw a DC panel, I seriously thought about going up and going, guys, I love Blackest Night so far. I love what you're doing with it and all the concepts, but we all know that somebody said at some point, so how are we going to do the big zombie crossover thing here?
Here's the thing, though.
And-
Blackest
and-
Night is epic and chilling and
Yeah.
exciting, but Marvel Zombies, they ran that shit into the ground, and then they started digging.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, it's just it's like going up to somebody and is like, hey, let's bring zombies. Zombies are cool. Let's do zombies with our comic books. All right. I don't know. Oh, I know. We'll have an alternate universe that is zombies, and some of our characters will go to that alternate universe, and we'll have zombies. And then you get DC's Blackest Night,
Where
which
they're
is like,
exploring what
really,
death means there.
Let's do about 5 to 7 years of exposition, and then let's have the fucking
Okay,
zombies.
to be fair, about 2.5 years ago when they started killing off just tons and tons and tons of characters and didn't stop, I was like, okay, something's coming down the line here, clearly, because they're not going to let all these guys stay dead. And sure enough, here we have Blackest Night,
Yeah, now-
where they're going to resurrect every single dead DC character.
And after
Now, before we completely jump this topic, we were talking about Hal Foster, and I'm looking through the Wednesday comics. Does anybody know how Jack Kirby created the demon, the design for him? It was from one of the issues of
I read about that.
one of the Prince Valiant comics,
One of the Prince Valiant,
where
strips,
Hal Foster
yeah.
drew, where Prince Valiant wanted to go in disguise, and he gutted a duck and put it on his head. Seriously, because I remember seeing this and going like, "Wow, it's like the demon." And sure enough, I read it. Like Jack Kirby saw that same comic book and went like, "Ooh, I could make this into the demon."
Yeah,
Wow, that's where it
I've
came
actually
from.
been getting a lot of comments on my page about like, yeah, what's up with this Etrigan? It's just like, nah, dude. Jack Kirby invented him. He's cool. look for his crossovers, read Sandman, watch Batman,
Watch Justice League.
Watch Batman and Justice League.
Fourth season of Batman, Justice League.
They were doing some
He's a
pretty
fucking
awesome,
cool
bizarre
fucking
shit
guy.
with him during the Vertigo,
yeah.
heydays.
Oh yeah, Alan
when
Moore
he had his
using
own
him more
book.
effectively than anybody.
Yeah.
The one
Yeah.
one comic in there that a lot of people need to check out because you want to talk about seeing the Masters even now at their prime is Sergeant Rock.
Oh yeah.
Joe
Kubert,
Kubert.
Joe
Kubert
Kubert hasn't lost
character that
anything.
Cut his eye teeth on. Holy crap!
And that's Harris, not Jason.
Joe Kubert did. I mean, this was the definitive guy on Hawkman and the definitive guy on. Man, I really can't think of any excuse to read any non-Kubert Sergeant Rock. I mean,
Right.
he's the man, and he wrote.
Actually, I thought the
and-
Space
and-
Invaders
and-
Sergeant Rock was much better. But I'm just
Space
saying.
Invaders. Sergeant Rock.
Yeah, the Kubert one
not
wasn't as
making
anywhere
it
near
up.
as good.
Sad
Yes,
part.
because it's a video
What?
game, so it's funny.
That's why Bo didn't get it.
No, I played the fuck out of Kubert, motherfucker.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Is that the one
Oh
that
no,
hurt you?
arcade games.
Is that the one that broke you?
No, I played plenty of arcade games.
The really sad thing is there is a Space Invader Sergeant Rock. He goes into the future at one point and starts fighting a space invasion.
Are you serious?
I'm not kidding.
No,
the way
there
Hex
was a
was-
time-
Shut the fuck up,
There was
Harris.
a time. There was a time in the '80s that they were just like, "Hey, let's make all of our old heroes from different eras."
Like when
come
Jonah
fucking-
Hex went
Jonah
into the
Hex,
Mad Max
yeah.
future.
It's like Jonah Hex turned into just Hex, and they had him fighting like aliens in the future, a la Killraven. It's just like,
I love
what are
the.
you
By the way,
doing?
I love the Justice League Unlimited episode where the what was it? Batman, Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman go back to the Wild West. They meet
Oh, yeah.
Jonah
Yes,
Hex,
the ones in
and he
future
right off
thing.
the bat goes, "See how our time travelers, huh?" He goes, "How in the hell did you know that?" It's like, "Yeah, I've
got a
seen
little
a lot.
experience
I've
with
seen a lot of weird shit."
Actually, my favorite moment from that like episode is just like they show Green Lantern. He's like doing all these like tricks with the revolvers because they have to dress up in cowboy outfits, and Batman's putting his cowboy outfits on, and he's like, "Don't you want a gun?" And Batman just looks at him. Never mind.
Clearly, have not read the 80,000 versions of my origin story that have been published. Jesus Christ, are you that one guy?
He's like, fuck, even
You're
Hal.
pretty insensitive for a brother.
Yeah, Bruce is like, fuck, even Hal wouldn't say that, you stupid son of a bitch.
All right, I'm going to skip to a question from Nate, who we love.
N8, Nate.
N8.
Negative Nate.
We love Nate.
Minus N8.
Who says, when you were like 5 years old and didn't know what was good or bad, you see a film, read a comic or some TV show, whatever, and this thing really appeals to you. But then you grow up, and according to your adult thinking mind, and you have a framework of what is good and bad according to you at this point, but despite all that, plus all the possible ridicule you might endure from friends and peers, you still love this thing. So it's embarrassing. You can't help it, but you love it. Everybody's got one. What's yours?
Do I even have to answer
Oh,
that?
that's easy.
Well, he specifically said loving
No prequels.
The prequels don't count.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
He said you cannot list the prequels.
I'll go first. The original Battlestar Galactica and the original Buck Rogers series in the 80s. Loved to death. And then
Space Disco.
Went back and realized what had happened with both of those series is they got serious writers who wrote like the first 5, 2 to 5 episodes. And fleshed it out and gave a story. And then what happened was the networks gave it over to their pool of network writers who had all been writing Gunsmoke and shit like that for 20 years.
Yeah.
And what they did was they're like, well, let's just recycle this old script. But what we'll do is we'll wrap everything in tinfoil and put some ducting up on the wall, and then it'll be science fiction.
Harlan Ellison
and-
referred to it as Battlestar Ponderosa.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, it did become Wagon Train in space, but in a really bad, 50s version of Wagon Train where nothing interesting ever happens. And I go back and I watch those episodes, and it's like, wow, I loved this as a kid, and I realize how fucking stupid it is right now. But I'm going to spend the rest of this afternoon watching this the rest of the day.
Allison, what about you?
Oh, Labyrinth. I'm sorry.
What?
I still enjoy
Fun of
that.
you for watching
She's gonna
that.
kill you.
I was gonna say.
Will kill
There's
you.
all kinds of people who the Labyrinth and the Dark Crystal will always get me some kind of sigh. I'll be around some like snooty tooty film nerd who'll be like, "Oh, please."
Don't know what they're
Fuck those
talking
people.
about.
Dude, I have
them up
two
the ass.
words for those people, and those words are rocks friends. So fuck you.
Yeah.
No,
Gelfling?
seriously.
If they're making fun of that, that means they probably haven't seen it since they were little, and they don't realize what a brilliant movie it is when you're a fucking adult and you realize what's actually going on.
Dark Crystal
Yeah.
is creepy.
No, those movies
Well-
still both hold up.
You should not have to feel bad about liking
Yeah,
either
fuck
one
those
of those
people.
films.
You need to
Seriously.
hang out with
Although,
these
to be
assholes.
fair, Labyrinth is a little gay.
No,
Because
it's
it
not.
has
David Bowie
in
with
it.
disco hair, makeup, and a
I would
codpiece.
do him
Tell me
over
the truth,
and
the truth
over
about
again.
voodoo.
He's
Voodoo,
totally
you-
hot. No,
know-
I'd-
Do what?
I would totally do him in the lab.
When she
Remind me of
has
the
when she has
Bobby
the
and the
whole
Babe.
like
What, babe?
The babe
when
with
she-
power.
Shut the
power?
fuck up, both of you!
Yeah,
God damn it!
it's got Jennifer Connelly in it. Come
she
on.
has the whole decision to make, like, I could either get my baby brother back or marry the Goblin King. What kind of a decision is that?
Baby or Bowie?
Keep the fucking brat.
What kind of
okay?
choice? Yes. Go with
And
Bowie.
apparently, Amon's baby brother is like still lost in limbo. Right?
Turn him into like a donkey. I don't care. I'll marry David Bowie. Yes. It's not even my
we
whole
would like to
brother
mention
anyway.
for all of you people that Allison no siblings. So.
Yes.
She was an only child.
Well, he was the sovereign.
She
to
was
be
an only
fair.
child eventually.
Yeah, she rebooted that way. When Jeff Johns retold her story, she was an only child. Yes.
Yeah. I ate my other
child with
siblings in
power.
the womb.
No.
What power?
The power of voodoo.
Voodoo?
Do what?
Remind me of the babe.
I'm about to turn this
Okay,
place into the
anyway.
fucking Wild Bunch. I'm going to throw some blood on the walls.
Sorry.
Very few of you are going to be walking out
And
of
I
here
have a shirt
with this
that
dance magic
says-
dance. It's gonna be some fucking dancing. Enough
have it-
already.
I have a shirt that says, "I would totally give my little brother to David Bowie in order to fuck him."
Yeah. And I have a shirt that says,
I'm
of
putting
course,
that out to the universe.
of course, you don't have wings. You're a boy.
Yes.
So I have that shirt, and I'll
Love
wear it
it.
around some cool people my age, and they'll be like, "Oh,
There
this
was
is so ridiculous."
one girl at my college who looked so much like the female Gelfling, it was creepy.
Wow.
Was it Allison?
It like the white blonde hair with the bangs. She had like the kind of elongated face, except it was human proportion. She had the physique. There are times I wish I could go back, knowing now what I knew then, because first I would dump the girl I was dating at the time, but I would, wanted to hook up just so I could see if she had wings hidden under there somewhere.
There's this guy in my physics
Sadly,
class who's got
that girl-
eyebrows out to here. You just gotta see it.
Sadly, that girl was actually an overbred Doberman Pinscher.
To be fair, Harris, I probably would have soaked that felt so hard. I swear
Oh
to God.
Oh jeez.
Here we go again.
What? I still have some childhood issues.
No, dude, you have a subscription.
The one movie
And they're all in long boxes. It's
The
true.
one that took me the longest to get past my incredible powers of denial to accept it was really not that good was The Black Cauldron. I saw that
See,
movie.
I really like that.
Well, I saw it when I was 12.
When was the last time you saw it?
The last time I saw
when
it
I was 12.
I saw it recently. It's all right.
mythos
Oh, really?
around
Like
it.
80
Yeah.
years
You
ago?
can get it.
All,
Yeah, you were 80.
all I can really say at this point is,
If you quote,
why do we come and see this? I guess we'll never know. It's like some kind of torture to hear this show.
Sorry.
But like I saw it when I was young, when it came out in the theater, and it was such a pivotal moment for me. And it took them literally 12 years, of which I spent every year writing to Disney, demanding it released on video. It came out when I was in college. I ran out and bought it and put it in the DVD, put it in the VCR, and I was watching it. And I was so excited, and an hour and a half later, my God, I wasted 12 years of my life.
no. The question is though, what do you still like?
What do you
that-
still like?
Still like
Yeah,
The
but
Last
you
Unicorn.
ruined the
That
question.
one-
You
that
got it
one
wrong.
holds up.
Fail.
No, it's like the moment everybody between the ages of 30 and 40 when they go and they watch Star Trek or Star Wars: A New Hope again, and they realize God's above. Luke is a dork. Jesus Christ! I never realized. I wanted to be that guy when I was a kid. What a schlemiel!
Look what
Whiny
happened.
Piece of shit.
Exactly.
Yes, but he comes into his own.
Yeah, when he's choking motherfuckers
Oh,
without
shut
touching them and everything in Jedi.
I would have killed the fuck out of my dad. That's all I can say. Be like, no, don't you join the dark side. It's like, I'm pretty sure I can stay right where I am and still fuck this.
You
bitch
did
up.
all that shit for a red lightsaber, you putz!
It's like, I don't think I really have to be evil to kill him at this point. He's a dick. He took my hand, fair trade.
Yeah, kind of killed my mom.
Yeah,
but,
I'm-
then, but
See
you,
ya.
you get his whole history, and you find out what a douche he was from the very beginning.
So we should hate him even more, then. Even more justified to say,
It's
fuck
kind
this
of horrible
guy.
when you find out the greatest evil in the universe was an emo kid.
You're right.
You know, I take it back. You're absolutely right, Bo. He was a giant dork. And it's a shame we ever thought we wanted to be like him. We should have wanted to be like Han. from the
Exactly.
beginning.
That's what you
Yeah.
figure out. You're just like, wow, the sarcastic cool guy is the one that
Pirate.
Who lets a woman break him, and by Jedi, he's this simpering, half-blind dude who's wholly ineffective.
Wow, this
Yeah,
sounds a little
that's
the
his
story of
fault,
life,
and not
though.
the weak
Exactly.
writing of Jedi.
That's really the way life goes, though, Jason.
Yeah.
I love the
yes,
fact
I
that
know.
there's this
Women are after you're
did
cool.
Did he? She's in the fucking slave girl outfit. What?
Leia,
Who
what was he
cares?
supposed to do?
Yeah, like.
He's like, what's a pirate gonna do, huh?
That being said,
Oh,
it
no, he was
is
blind at the time, so I guess he missed it.
it is
Oh,
the
Keep that
universe,
for later.
and he has his own badass Camaro of the stars.
and how
I mean,
long
come
was
on.
he supposed to have sex with a Wookiee?
Yeah. I have a whole collection of Hans that I could show you. That's just what happens in life, all right?
I would like to say though, it's true though. After Empire, you're just like, I even as a kid seeing Return, I was like, what happened? Something's
happened?
wrong.
Yeah, what-
I can tell something is wrong here.
Something like-
and the big
Man,
thing was
that,
Han.
That carbonite fucked you up, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, something.
up.
You got brain damage because all of a sudden you went from like, "Hey, I'm a foil to Leia," like, "Oh, I'm attracted to you, but I'm not going to change my ways," to "Yes, ma'am."
Yeah, I love you.
Well, you guys bring up a good point. I mean, really, being frozen in carbamide, wouldn't that fuck you up?
I don't know. I'd like to think
I'd try
he'd
it.
be like
Get a little
Dennis
freaky
Leary's
burn.
theory of the Duke. It's like, we're going to thaw out the Duke, and you know what? He's going to be pretty pissed off. Well, you ever taken a cold shower? Multiply that by 10,000 times. That's just how pissed off he's going to be.
He
That's how it
eventually
should've
works
been.
his way back up again. He just it take us a while to get that carbonite.
Oh yeah, he's married with kids at the end. What a rebel!
Yeah, but he's using every excuse he can to be like, honey, I gotta go do the whatever run and how many parsecs with Chewie, or else I'm not putting
I'm
food
off
on
on
the
the
table.
Kessel Run.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Wookiee Life Day. We got to fly.
Yeah,
You know,
and of course he's back at Jabba's place, with
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
bowling.
three-leg stripper.
Well, they've got that thing where you strap
Hey man,
in.
remember when I was up on the wall?
They've got it all tied in. The Sarlacc ain't much good anymore. All best he can do is get paid $50 per anal penetration. there, to strap into the edge of the pit.
And once
again,
again,
Cyrus has done it.
questions.
okay, Leon. Thank you, Cyrus.
My answers are gonna be.
I loved ruining you guys' childhoods. I just take great pleasure.
I know. Okay, you get to ruin mine now. It was going to be Speed Racer in the Incredible Hulk TV show.
Oh, nice. Lou Ferrigno.
I mean, as much as like that fucking movie tried to ruin Speed Racer, there were so many good things within that
I liked
show.
the movie. I thought it was a candy-coated acid trip.
No
I thought
one
it was
likes
fun.
you, Jason.
I love
by
the
way.
fact that the Wachowskis managed to make a studio film all about like not giving into corporate interests.
A really expensive studio film at
Yes,
that.
a really
It's not like,
expensive studio acid trip where they had all the materials to make a really good, entertaining movie that was all about what Speed Racer was really about, and they just said, fuck it. We'll make it this thing that'll be popular in clubs, and yet it was popular in really nowhere.
But again, it's supposed to be what you still like, in spite the fact you know it's bad.
No,
That was the question. You just decided no. That's
Oh no. But what I'm saying is the original Speed Racer TV show.
Oh, okay,
The original cartoon. I still like that. It's like despite that movie, I can still look at the cartoon and go like, you know what? There's some really cool things going on here that are obscured by all the weird Japanese stuff that I really dig. I mean, like I say like my favorite episode is the one. There's one. It's the last episode, and it's the greatest, the big final race around the world. And there's a couple that's a mom. I mean, it's a girl and her dad, and they run out of gas. And Speed pulls up next to him on the last leg of the race, and he's like, "Look at you, You ran out of gas. You guys weren't even good racers. You should have prepared better. But you know what? I don't want to beat you like this. So I'm going to give you a tank of my gas so I can beat you fair and square. And like, all right, Speed. It's like, wow, that dude's cool. So later he's driving and he runs out of gas. And he's like, fuck. And he's on the ground, beating the ground, crying.
Well, apparently Speed can't do math.
Yeah. And he's like, I can't believe I ran out of gas. And then Racer X pulls up next to him. And instead of being that big brother that says, like, that's all right, dude, he goes like, yeah, you fucking loser. Of course. You had a chance to win. And you blew it trying to be nice. Winners aren't nice. That's why you lost. It's not because you ran out of gas. It's because you were a loser. You don't have the mentality of what it takes to win this race. And you deserve to lose.
Kids cartoon, everybody.
And Speed
Kids
has a total
cartoon.
breakdown after that. He's Racer X was right. I'm just a loser. I can never win. Because Racer X drives off. And after Speed like wipes his eyes and gets up, he looks over and Racer X has left him another can of gas. He pours it in.
I was really hoping Racer X was going to leave him some steak knives or something, and then you go third place, you're fucking fired.
No, he left him a can of gas, and Speed puts it in, and he wins the fucking race. He's the greatest racer of all time, and I love that show. And as far
Except for the fact that he's a pussy who gave somebody gas.
well, he was a good sportsman. That's what it's
like,
that's what it's
the
all
old
about.
saying, you know.
You realize that that's a horrible, horrible
Winners
message.
go home and fuck the prom queen.
And then with the Incredible Hulk, that's one of those shows where, like, man, I love that show growing up. As a matter of fact, exactly. And as I got older, it was one of these shows where, like, I liked it, like, outside of the Hulk parts. Like, it got to be, like, the Hulk parts were annoying. Because I like the idea of David Banner being on the run and getting involved with these people and enriching their lives.
This is why when you're at Comic-Con and walking by Lou Ferrigno's lonely, $20 a signature book,
it's so scary.
you don't make eye contact.
I just love the way. I just love the way. Bill Bixby dealt with his orphan kid. I thought that was very touching.
I loved it. Great when they called it the littlest hobo.
I only have a few autographs, either for kitsch value or because I genuinely idolize the people. I have George Romero, Toby Hooper, and Lou Ferrigno. Anyone that knows me knows that two of those are ones I genuinely idolize, and then the other one is for kitsch value. And that's the Lou Ferrigno one, the autographed Lou Ferrigno. And that guy was a fucking prick.
Oh, yeah. No. When I took a
heard.
picture of him, and I did it from a distance, because anytime somebody was within his visual proximity and took a photo, he was like, hey, you owe me $20 for that.
Say, fuck you, man. Free air.
Really?
Good luck claiming
did
that.
you did you buy my camera?
No,
Because I beg to differ.
He actually said, hey, man, you owe me $20 for that.
Yeah, but you know what? As much as you think about all that, I'm like, when I picture myself getting my ass beat on the Comic-Con floor by Lou Ferrigno.
Dude, that's legendary.
I know. I was going to say totally worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever been to a
Yeah,
hospital recently?
Dude, you know how many
That's a
20
lot of money.
You know how many $20 autographs
Yeah.
he's gotten over
Have
the
you ever
years?
sued
Those
a
would be
celebrity
yours.
for money lately?
Exactly.
That's a lot of money.
I was gonna
Yes.
say.
It's like, dude, if you start beating me up on this fucking floor, there's going to be a lot more pictures
Yes,
taken
I'm
of your
sorry.
ass.
You sued a celebrity, but not if you sue Lou Ferrigno. He hasn't really done anything since the Incredible Hulk.
If I get
except
my-
that cameo in
I don't care.
I love you, man.
I don't care if his deaf ass has to do a cameo in every fucking Marvel movie that comes out.
gonna
for
do
the
a
next
cameo
5
on
centuries.
Leog. Why didn't you
He's
let your
paying
ass
my
get
ass if
beat?
he beats me.
If I get my ass beat by someone at Comic-Con, it's going to be some girl dressed up like Molotov cocktease.
Yeah, I'd pay for that, actually.
Yeah.
Not for my ass get beat, yours.
Oh, I pay for my own.
You're a good man.
So would I.
That's like buying your buddy a lap
Don't
dance.
get
It
in
is.
my way in the aisle. Okay.
Yeah, I got Dr. Girlfriend, so we'll trade off.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It'll be hot.
I was saying
either
Dr.
or.
Girlfriend is the only hot woman in my life I would ever want to have sex with and say, will you do me a favor? Will you talk like a 50-year-old Italian guy?
Of course, sugar. That's not a problem.
The league's own Dr. Girlfriend.
Oh, God, you're a monster.
You're a monster.
You're a monster.
Lower!
Did anyone else have an answer for this question? If anyone can still
Yeah, I
remember
do.
what the question is.
Of course I do.
Jason knows. I think he's given 3 answers already.
He's got the list.
Have I? No, Friday the 13th movies, of course.
That you still love even though you accept that they're crap.
They're garbage. Man.
Well done.
I love them.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like most of the movies that I did love as a kid, I'll still watch for nostalgia value, but I know they're crap and I can't watch them very often. Like when I was a kid, my big favorite movie was Xanadu. Yes, I
Oh
said
my
that.
God, Xanadu.
You queen.
I know, right? Hey man, I used to roller skate
man.
like crazy.
He was sucking a cock at the time he watched it, so be fair.
Hey, I was a speed skating champion for my age group in my county in Virginia.
Oh God, was this the speed skating?
Guys, I'm
the
about
floor
to.
show?
I will channel Gene Kelly and kick all of your asses
Thank
while
you.
I'm dancing.
It
Thank
wasn't
you.
fuck up.
So you want speed skating and not the floor show? Is
That's not the floor show. I couldn't skate backwards for some reason. I just couldn't do it.
This next question is a couples only question.
This is night skating, which means you can do whatever you want.
Cyrus in spandex skating around to pour some sugar on me.
Oh God! Pour some acid in my eyes.
But
Why
this
did you pour
does
me
tie
sugar on
into
him?
the thing
It's a
I
Cliff
am kind of
Richard.
embarrassed about, which is how Leon and I met, which is Electric Light Orchestra.
Wow.
Which
they
I-
are the good part.
You were skating duets to Electric Light Orchestra?
You don't have to be
Doesn't
embarrassed. by
like
that.
ELO.
I am a little embarrassed
I
by
love
some of the
ELO.
stuff,
ELO are
ELO stuff I love.
Why?
They were
Because-
dancing around "Don't Bring Me Down."
I love
Yeah, I
them
know.
That
so
wasn't
much.
on Xanadu.
They were really
Don't Walk
they were
Away
really,
came on, however.
They were
Two
really
of them turned
they were
into a
really
couple of
cheesy and
cartoons
bad.
and
They were trying to
disappeared.
be the next Beatles. And who would want to be that?
Oasis.
Come on. Yeah, right. We're bigger than the Beatles.
And
no one cared.
I will say, with a wink and a nudge to somebody out there, a movie that I do still like, but really is crap, no matter how you divvy it up. Battle Beyond the Stars.
Oh, see, you and Carlisle would go to Teal.
Oh,
David
yes, we
Hasselhoff.
would, because he would maintain that, dude, Richard Thomas is a great actor. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
after-
Yeah, he was John Boy. It sucked. It was fun to watch when I was 13.
After all that, like, no, it really is a good movie. You gotta watch it. It's like, you know how you love Buckaroo Banzai? You still think that's good? I'm like, it is good.
Yeah,
It's
but
like,
it is
Yeah,
good.
whatever. But this is really good. And I like watch it and go, no, this is absolute
it's
shit.
not. It's a bad Roger Corman
But it was
sci-fi
written by
movie.
John Sayles.
Yeah,
And?
exactly. Look at how many talented people came out
Do you
of
know
that.
who directed Piranha 2: The Spawning? James Cameron. But is anyone buying that on Blu-ray? You know
John-
why?
John
It's not
Sayles-
available on Blu-ray because
John-
it sucks.
John Sayles did that out of a sense of artistic fulfillment. There's no question about that.
Well, I will still watch every single James Bond movie ever made, and there are some of those in the middle there. That,
Even Octopussy.
oh fuck
I
yeah!
like
I
Octopussy.
love every single
Even
Bond
License
movie.
to Kill.
Okay, not licensed.
Okay, maybe not. I'm kidding. I have it on DVD.
Even the one where they killed
The question is, stuff that you watched that you loved when you were a kid and you still fucking love as much. I will say unequivocally, because the two movies that I showed during my birthday at my bar shift at Nomad were Buckaroo Banzai.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Which is by some degrees very cheesy. Still love it. The other movie, the 1980 version, Sam Jones, Flash Gordon. Still fucking love it. There is no person on the earth that can convince me that that is a bad movie. even though it is.
bored.
Never seen it.
Clytus, I'm bored. It does. Yeah. It is.
When I was a kid, I saw it in the theater and I went, I really like this soundtrack.
Yeah.
I'll bet you did.
Not really helping after the Xanadu.
I'm not. I know it's not helping at all. But what are you gonna
Yeah.
do?
Exactly. I win.
Come on.
Cyrus Mercury over
The
Yeah,
best album Queen
let-
ever put out was the soundtrack to Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
That's true.
Let's put Brian May into a fight with Jeff Lynne and see who wins.
I think Jeff Lynne.
I think
kick
Jeff
his
Lynne
ass.
would win. Actually,
On guitar playing, then you're
he's
completely.
he's
you
got
are
the bigger
completely
afro.
fucking wrong.
he does have the
He's
biggest,
a-
bigger
he's a
afro.
beautiful
Act-
afro.
Say, apparently, you guys have not seen a lot of pictures of Brian May.
No. Brian May has a huge afro, but Jeff
Yeah.
Lynne's is bigger.
Jeff Lynne isn't bigger. He does a beard.
Are we judging fighting ability by the size of the
Yeah.
afro now?
And you're
I'm
wrong.
pretty sure that's
a man
the way
has an
he.
I'm
afro like
judging
that,
fighting
he hears
ability on your
nothing.
ability to shred with guitar. Sorry, Brian May wins.
I'm going to go
Wow.
with Jeff Lynne. Sorry.
Yeah,
but
I'm all Jeff Lynne.
Wow, you
but-
think Jeff Lynne is a better guitar player than Brian May?
sure,
Really?
because it's not always about shredding.
Yeah,
as it were.
exactly.
I'm
Put
not
Jack
gonna,
Black.
no. I am saying, like, in the I'm putting this out the outer spheres as far as guitar playing ability. Sorry, I think Jeff Lynne is amazingly talented, but there's no way he's Brian May.
Okay, back to movies.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what we're here for?
Yeah, we were here
Oh,
for
sorry.
movies.
Oh, is it movies? I was talking about TV
I don't
shows.
even think it was
We will
specific.
save that for the upcoming music issue.
Yes,
of
we're
Leon.
going to have a music one, but I really liked Barbarella and saw it way too young. Like,
Oh,
Before
I
it
haven't
was
told,
a-
did I tell you my
Actually
Barbarella
real?
story?
Oh no,
No.
please, let's hear your Barbarella story.
yeah, but I fucking love Barbarella.
Oh, okay. I
Even
can't
though,
believe
yeah.
I haven't told the Barbarella story.
No.
No, you haven't.
We had cable when I was very young.
Yeah.
And then we got rid of it. And so anyway, my whole life, I kept having this reoccurring memory of this woman whose clothes was being pecked off by birds. And I had no fucking idea what this thing was, but every few years I'd get this memory again, and I'm like, what is this thing lodged in my brain? And then I began to be like, maybe I'm gay. And that's I got a bird thing, and I could not figure it out.
No, if you were a guy and dreaming about Streisand, then you would be gay.
I am willing to go
Fonda.
back in
Fonda.
time.
Let
Jane
me just-
Fonda.
it's
I-
not. Oh yeah, that's
Jane Fonda.
I'm willing to go back in time to
faux
kill
pas.
Jane Fonda to make sure that this actually was a dream, and then dress up as a giant. bird.
and I would just comment by saying,
Is this a Leog version of 12 Monkeys?
So
Let her tell her
anyway-
story, damn it.
Do I ever get to tell a story start to finish without the peanut gallery? That's
No,
how
but these guys.
Okay. So anyway, my second year of college, someone's like, "You've never seen Barbarella?" I was like, "I've never even heard of this. What is this movie?" So put Barbarella on, and my mind, of course, just melted, splashed on the floor. I was like, "That's the scene that's been stuck in my brain my whole fucking life." Someone had this movie on when I was very small,
Way too young.
and it got lodged in there, and it fucked with me for weeks. I was
Yes.
like, I finally solved this puzzle, and I know what that is. So yeah, I know.
I don't want to hear it.
And
The
besides-
original, mine was the original Halloween. So you want to talk about being fucked up?
By the
not
way,
knowing why.
thank you to the multitudes out there that clued me into the Jack and the Beanstalk anime version out there that is posted in its entirety on YouTube, because yes, it does actually exist. And
So, Krista, now with you telling that story, somebody's going to post a video from YouTube of just that scene. And as long as you're out there ready to post that, Alice and I both have memories of a movie where the little girl who was at school, who wasn't being accepted, but she had this little pet bird. And to be accepted, she let her bird go, and all the kids stamped at it with
And
their
it
feet
died?
until it died. And then they walked away, and it's like her only little friend that she let that happen. She didn't stop them. 'cause
What
she
a
wanted-
horrible
She
story.
wanted
I
to
know,
be
but
popular.
we don't know what this movie is.
I will say at
They-
this point that I don't know what this movie is, but I'm absolutely certain that it is French.
No, it's not. It's not. It's a black and white.
Was
It's
there
French.
a red balloon at some point?
But, I mean, why do you show these films to children, please?
Because parents get tired.
And they're just
There are
like,
times that parents don't really know what quite they're showing.
which
At
is
some
why I
point,
watched Barbarella.
You're watching Cannibal
I got
Holocaust.
exposed to like
Shut
rock
up.
and roll because it was a cartoon, and that fucked me up for years. It took me forever to realize what the hell that was.
Kinder
Like the
happier
cat?
cartoons for kids are dumb and lame. Kids need to not get any more of the whole you just get everything you want. We need these darker, grim fairy
That's
tales
true.
back
No, I
where
agree
the-
with that.
Coraline.
It's leaving Barbarella on when your 3-year-old's wandering around that I draw a line at.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Watching
Well-
the Blue Lagoon at a drive-in with like in the backseat of your babysitter's car will fuck you up. Okay.
When I was a kid,
I
our
think there
parents
might
took
be
us to see
something
the
else going
Taxi
on there that
Driver.
fucked you up.
I think we just learned the beginning of the book about Allison's ex-boyfriends right there. The first chapter.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but my third parent was the TV.
Oh yeah.
Well, sure, to some extent.
No.
was
I mean,
my
to a great
second
extent.
one was.
Yeah, I would go second.
Mine was my grandmother who loved me very much.
Oh,
Congratulations. That's
Yeah.
great.
yeah.
Yeah,
Not-
congratulations, you had a happy
Oh,
child.
good for you.
Good for you.
Take a drink.
Mine was the all access pass to the mom and pop video store that had all sorts of weird bootleg VHS.
That was
Dude,
mine
Especially
too, yeah.
behind the beaded curtain. It
was like-
it
was like,
going
oh.
behind Elvis.
Combat Shock? I haven't seen that.
Is that the one that Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes used to hang out in front of?
No, I have a great story about that. My grandmother, who's thought that it would be artistic for me to read The Portrait of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. So I did. I read this book at I think I was 10.
Oh my god.
And so she was like, oh, and there's a movie too. We should watch the movie. And she rented the movie at the local video house. And we got it home, and this was the rated X version of the Portrait of Dorian Gray. So we get like
I am
about
dying to read your book now.
4.
Portrait of Dorian Gag.
We get like
Not the portrait
4
of
minutes.
Dorian Gay.
We
The
get
Portrait of Dorkian Man. Oh, no,
no. But like
Leave it
4
alone.
minutes in, and we've got the whole like soft core jamming it to the lady's booby jiggling scene in a movie.
It took
And
her
my-
that long to realize that
Yeah.
maybe this
Thank
wasn't the
God
Yeah.
for you,
Yeah.
Cinemax.
So my grandmother was
Franco
like,
Zeffirelli's.
"Huh?
I don't remember
Well,
that
maybe
part.
it's educational." So we sat through
You
a
learned
good half
something.
half of it.
of this rated X version of the Portrait of Dorian Gray.
Wow.
So it really took your grandmother that long to clue in? To
I
go,
really thought
I think she was enjoying it. For
when
her.
I was a wisp of a lad, my dad heard about this movie coming out about King Arthur.
Oh, nice.
And he totally fucking sold it to me. He was like, "There's this great movie coming out with King Arthur, and it's gonna have knights in battle, and it's gonna be fucking awesome." And I was just like,
Oh shit!
"Oh wow, that's awesome, Dad. That sounds great." And we actually were there when
called
they
Behind the
showed the
Green
first
Door.
television commercial for it
Thought it was Green
on
Knight.
TV, and it was Excalibur.
Excalibur.
Yeah.
Which is rated R.
XXX
And
caliber.
I watched the whole fucking trailer for it with my dad, and he's like, "This is the movie that I was talking about. This is gonna be great. Oh wow, look, it looks. Oh, this looks awesome." I was like, "It does look awesome, Dad. Oh, I can't wait to see this with you." And then at the very end, boom, rated R. And I'm like, my face and my shoulders just fell, and I was just like,
crushing disappointment.
and my dad just looked at me and was just like, "Ah, fuck it, you can go see it."
My dad used to do that all the time when I was a kid.
So we went to go watch it, and it was really like 20 years after that I realized that you did not have to wear a full suit of armor to make love to a lady. Indeed, you don't.
That explains
That
volumes.
explains so much.
It does.
That's why
because that stuff. I'm just saying.
That's why whenever we-
I'm just saying. Uncomfortable.
That's
why
why you have
when-
that anvil in your garage.
That's why whenever
No,
we
that's
go,
because I watched a lot of Warner Brothers movies.
whenever we talk about going to the Renaissance Festival, you disappear into your room for like 30 minutes.
I gotta go, man.
No, actually, the first movie I remember even seeing was that what's the dinosaur movie with Ursula Andress in it?
10,000 Years BC.
Yeah, which was rated R when it came out. My
Wait,
dad
wasn't that Raquel Welch?
Was it Raquel
Yeah, it
Welch?
was
Raquel Welch.
Yeah.
But
But
you know what
and
I'm
it doesn't
talking about.
show anything.
But no, it doesn't. But back then it was considered to be very dark and very
risque.
heavy
Yeah.
and risque. And my dad was like, it's dinosaurs. How bad could it be? That's the first movie I ever remember
okay.
actually seeing. So, yeah,
Wow.
there it is. And on that note, we're done with this episode of the League of
Oh, my God,
Extremely
really? Jesus.
Ordinary Gentle People.
Our legion of extremely ordinary gentlemen.
Yeah, it's starting to be that way.
Well,
Gentle people. Yeah.
God damn.
By the way,
Come on.
shout
on,
out.
ladies.
I gotta say, best fans in the world, man. I love all you motherfuckers. I really do.
Yeah, me too.
I will say, as of this would have happened a week ago, but when Jason first put up the thing on the site, y'all really came through for me. So
Oh, yeah.
that really touched me, and I can't thank you enough.
I got to say, I think you guys are nice, but
Yeah, you guys suck.
we should just be friends. It's not you.
Jason, you must understand, is still on a lot of painkillers at this point. Yeah. Lots and lots of painkillers.
I would like to
but
con-
Leon does hate you.
I would like to
not true.
congratulate Jason to getting a chance to write some main page stories now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They've realized his genius.
The shitstorm of the Dumbledore is gay thing that set off. Good God.
Did it really?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my
Gay
God.
jokes? That's what we're doing here now? It's like, okay, buddy.
They
Wait,
said
Dumbledore's
that. That's
gay?
what they wanted me to write.
I
What do you
know.
want?
I did as I was told.
That's what you
blame
get for
Jason.
obeying your corporate masters.
Don't blame me. I didn't know anything about it until it was posted.
Yeah, I don't want to refer to Corey as my corporate master, actually.
You don't have to, because I did for you.
Okay.
But with a final salute out to Jason's corporate master, we say goodbye.
And thank you, fans. Let the fans know that I do love them too.
Yes, we
have the
do
best
very
fans
much.
ever.
We do have the best fans ever, and we
do.
really appreciate it. And if we're
Yeah,
ever being
God
douches,
Damn, we do.
feel free not to let us know.
And with
At your
that,
earliest
we will
convenience.
sign off with the usual.
What is that?
I think it's Long Live the League.
League.
And many more.
And thanks for Harris for guest starring.
Thank you, Harris.
Thank you.